Let me make sure all my buttons are pushed. They are. We're good. I cannot believe I can record and stream with less than 3% of CPU usage. That's insane. All right, here we go. It begins in 3, 2, 1.
The Senator is expecting us.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Core. This is Core, talking video games and all the stuff around it. We are looking at episode 363 for April 27th, 2023. I'm Scott Johnson with Bo Schwartz and John Jagger, and it's good to be back. I would like to start the show with an embarrassing thing that happened to me. All right?
Okay.
Video game related.
Great.
All right. So I'm in Las Vegas all last week, or this week. It's still the same week. But it was about 6 days, and it was great. We had TMS Vegas out there, a wonderful time for my morning show and listeners of it, and people talked and asked about Core a lot. That came up a lot in conversation, just so you guys know. But anyway, part of the event was we did this thing at this arcade called Player One in kind of Midtown Vegas, and it's a bar where you go and you play or you pay a cover charge of $5, and then you can stay there all night till like 3, 4 in the morning, drinking if that's your thing. It's a bar, but they also have like all these old arcade cabinets, and it's all like old stuff, 80s, early 80s, mid 80s, 90s, late 90s video games. And so, you know, like Joust and Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Asteroids, all these games. And so I love that stuff. So it reminds me of my childhood. I'm in there playing, and we do a tournament. Last year I took second place overall in the tournament. So I thought this year I'm going to do it again. I'm going to at least get right up there to the edge, and I might get kicked off my high horse, but let's see how this goes. So me and my co-host of the morning stream, Brian Ibbett, are the first pair to play against each other, and it was random, by the way. So we didn't choose to be there together in the first round. It just did it. So we we lived by the rules we set up, and we decided to play Tron. Now, I'm not talking discs of Tron, right? Which is basically like an arena shooter. This was like Tron, where it's like, what do I want to do first? Do I want to do light cycles, which is basically a game of Snake? Do I want to go do the tank thing? Do I want to do the kill the CPU thing and try to get through it? Like, there's those various games you can play. And I guess I thought I went into that going, this is like riding a bike. I'll remember this. This would be great. I go in there to play that game. I don't remember shit. I think the last time I played it was the year it came out, like 97, 98, something like, or 88 rather, 87, 88. I got murdered, killed, didn't even do half the points that Brian Ibbett did. And we both had the same handicap. You can't go down, or not very well. It was real fishy on the down motion of the joystick. It was like busted. And so, but we both had the same handicap there, so it's not like I can use that as an excuse. And he just freaking rocked me. The good news is he got kicked out the very next round, and then another 60 or something people played, and we had a winner. But anyway, it's really embarrassing. So I guess what I'm saying is, don't go into these things thinking you're some hotshot who never lost his touch. Okay.
Did you get to pick your game?
So yes and no. We went back and forth about what we wanted to play. The only rule was with him and I is we couldn't do Tempest because he's a Tempest pro, and he loves that game. He has a full-blown Tempest cabinet in his house, and I couldn't play Joust for the same reason. I have a Joust cabinet. I have like lots of experience in Joust. I love Joust. So Joust was off the table because he's not very good at Joust. So we had that rule, right? Like our 2 ringer games, we couldn't play those, but everything else was open. We went back and forth. What are we going to do? Is it something either of us know? And just Tron sounded good. It was like, oh yeah, Tron. I remember Tron. But I don't remember shit, turns out.
It turns out you didn't remember.
I really don't. I mean, I remember being a fan of it, and I loved the movie when I was a kid and all that, but it was a poor showing. So anyway, it was a whole lot of fun.
The ideal competition is something you've trained for, so don't feel too bad.
Yeah, I'll try not to feel too bad.
It should have been a round of Joust. It should have been a round of, like, you should have been something you're good at and something he's good at, and then something to tie break.
That's not a bad idea. Maybe we may do that
time.
Next year. Yeah, just to make it interesting. But my sisters were there. It was just a really fun time. Tons of people came, and always
seemed like a pretty good turnout. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great turnout. We had constant, like, I love Core. I love it when Bo does his weird freaking VR talk, or I like it when John's Dear Marthas make my whole week, like that kind of talk all week long. People love freaking core. So I think we need to do some kind of core con. I don't know what that looks like, but
I think that'd be good. Or I don't know, like if there was like a nerdtacular type.
yeah, we brought everybody in under the same
wanna
This
do it
year,
with
when you were
Corrigan?
like from core, people would be like, "We know that show," instead of last time where they were like, "I think Scott has said the word core."
Yeah, they didn't know then, right? We've built an empire
conversation.
since then. Exactly. I agree. I agree. And maybe that will happen. There was a lot of talk of that as well. I don't know. But I did launch something new while I was gone, and I want to mention it here because I'm a shill for, well, I'm not really a shill at all, but I just really want to make sure people know about it.
Scott confesses today.
Finally, I'm a
If you
shill.
can't
I'm a
talk about
shill.
things you create on core, where can you talk?
Where
about
can I?
that?
Exactly.
This is,
If I
this
can't,
is it.
yeah, if I can't do it here, where? Here's where I'll do it. So Dungeon Murder, the card game I've been working on for ages, is done or at least ready for funding. It's still sort of in beta, and we played a bunch of it. I have one deck that's mostly intact in terms of current that I pulled out of the event. We had a whole board game day, and a bunch of people got to come and play a bunch of rounds with me. Seemed to be very well received, even from some like hardened long-time tabletopper types who really had a good time with it. That made me very happy. And due to a lot of reasons, we had to wait to launch the Kickstarter while I was in Vegas. So it worked out okay. We blazed right past our goal, which made me very happy also within a couple of hours. And then it's all gravy from here and stretch goals and all of that. So if you are interested in seeing what it's about, learning about it, checking out the level, seeing if something there is maybe for you, and you want to support it, go check it out at dungeonmurder.com. That'll take you straight to the Kickstarter right now. It just auto-resolves to the Kickstarter, and eventually it'll be its own site with some supplementary rules and all that stuff. But anyway, go check it out. Watch the video. See what you think. I think you'd have a really good time with it. If you like sitting around a table with 2 to 5 of your friends and love a game that only takes 15 to 20 minutes to play, and is full of art that I made, and all of it is just I did the whole damn game, is what I'm saying. All right, from rules and ideas and mechanics all the way to laying out the damn cards so they get ready to print. It's a big project of mine, and I'm very proud of the work I've done. I'd really like you to maybe see it and play it. So go check it out. DungeonMurder.com. Kickstarter's up there for another 3 weeks. So
Gotta
2 to
say it
5
like
players.
that every time though. Dungeon Murder.
yeah, emphasize murder. Even though what's funny is somebody said, there's a lot of dungeoning going on in this game, but not a lot of murder going on in this game. And he was right. There isn't a lot of murder, which will make sense when you play it. But anyway, it's up there. It's out there now. Go check it out, please. Okay, we got our big topic of the week, and listen, I'd like to first say a little something to my Nintendo friends and my Sony friends.
Brace yourself.
I mean, this could be news for them. I feel like I know where you're going, but this could be news for them too.
I just don't want them to think that there was some other big story that happened with Sony or Nintendo that we skipped over for this, because it may feel like the last few weeks this has been an ongoing concern, this particular story. But it does affect them. It affects everybody. It's a major thing. So while we were gone, the EU, that's the European Union, decided to block Microsoft's Activision Blizzard King acquisition. They said basically the cloud gaming part of it is monopolistic, is what they're saying. This was a kind of a surprise to most. I mean, there was the looming idea that they might do it, but most people thought they wouldn't block it. That they would that it would get through, given all the material around it and what we know about it.
We're getting big corrections. It was the UK only.
What did I wait?
I wrote it. It's my mistake, Scott.
I thought it was.
You read what I wrote, like Ron Burgundy.
No, you're right.
I wrote EU.
You're right. That was you. It's the UK.
Putting
Sorry,
notes
you're absolutely
together
right.
At 12 o'clock in the morning.
In my head,
I
it was.
wrote EU.
In my head, it made more sense EU anyway, though. But yes, this is a UK thing, and they've had their run-ins with them forever, right? Go back to the '90s if you want to see some blood on the sand. Those guys would fight over browser domination like nobody's business. It was like gnarly. So the UK and Microsoft, no strangers to seeing each other in court for sure. But $69 billion on the line here. This could be a game-ending blow, but it might not.
There are ways to appeal it, but
There are.
This isn't like we've talked about this a lot, and it's been it looks like it's going to go through. Oh, they're holding it up for this. Oh, they're raising questions for this. This is the official decision is that it's blocked.
Yeah.
There is an appeals process. It's, so it may not be over, but the decision was no.
Yes, that is correct.
And essentially they're saying it's the fault of Game Pass to a degree.
Yeah.
They think Game Pass is a service that only Microsoft can offer, that nobody else really comes close. And honestly, I think that's true. Whether or not you think that should allow the deal to go through or not, I think we've said, and I think part of the reason why people are like, why do you always talk about Microsoft, is because Game Pass is a very good service. Like it is a service that I know Scott, you and I, Bo has had his moments in there too. We really have gotten a lot of value and use out of. Whereas I don't think that we can say the same thing about Sony's online offering and Nintendo. I'm just happy when Nintendo acknowledges that the internet exists. So,
yeah.
To a degree, they're right. Again, whether or not you think that blocks the deal or not,
Right.
that's you're going to have to decide. But
yeah,
it is sort of true.
Well, Brad Smith, Vice Chair and President Brad Smith of Microsoft, he's one of the big executives over there, said, quote, "This decision, I have to say, is probably the darkest day in our 4 decades in Britain," he says.
Oh, boo! No video game company for you.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Then let's see what else. Bo just left again. Look at that. No,
I know he offered that and left.
Yep.
He was like, "Here's my fun voice. Here's my stance on the matter.
Yep.
I'm out.
See ya. I'm off to wherever I'm off to.
I don't need to be on the show anymore. I've contributed all there is to say."
One of my favorite things about him. Oh, here he comes with a can of some beverage. All right, very well done. He says it's their darkest day.
No,
and he says,
I'm sorry. The interruption was worth it. Chicken nuggets have been delivered to my workstation.
Oh my lord, good nuggets or shitty McDonald's stuff, or what is
McDonald's chicken nuggets. McDonald's chicken nuggets.
So just chicken parts that are undesirable in any other context than a nugget.
Right.
We
chicken
don't know
assholes.
what it's like in Canada. Maybe it's fine.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, apparently we actually have better versions of your stuff.
Is that true? Like,
I mean, it could just be racism, but like, I think so.
When we were in China, when I was in China, I went to a McDonald's, and it was the single best McDonald's I'd ever had in my life. And maybe that was because it was a contrast to all the other food I was eating, but it was so good over there.
Or maybe they care. I don't know. Maybe they pay like a livable wage and get people that can actually go. Now the circle patty lines up with the circle bun. They shouldn't be like a Venn diagram when I put it in the box to give to somebody. I don't understand. I'm only a high school student.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far. I think it's still a minimum wage job. But...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But your nuggets are better.
You tell me, what do they look like?
Oh, they look...
That looks better than what?
Yeah, those look like nuggets.
Yeah, that looks like what it is in my head.
Yeah, the photos.
I don't know what my mom was thinking. She like bought me 20 chicken nuggets randomly. Like I'm just like I'm doing a show, and she's like, "Oh, you want these nuggets?"
You need fuel. She knows. That's what a mother knows. Mother knows.
Yeah, but it's trying not to.
Yeah, you don't want to be. You don't want to pound down
3,000 calories of nuggets. I'm definitely going to eat all 3,000 calories.
Oh yeah. Well, good luck on those. I know there are a few not just even a few listeners who will love hearing you talk while you have a nugget in your mouth.
Yeah,
they're
going to be thrilled.
Yeah,
it kind of
Yep, there it is.
Every
Let's
time
do nothing but ask Bo questions every time we see him take a bite.
Every time I eat something, people complain, and then our patron goes up. So I don't know. I'm getting mixed messages.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what to believe anymore. You're getting the mukbang crowd; they're super stoked, and then there's the ones that dissent. So
yeah, there's the people who have like trouble hearing noises.
Sure,
triggers them.
All right, here's what. Oh, he also went on, by the way, Brad Smith told the BBC. He said this quote, and I hate this quote, but I'm going to share it. "The European Union is a more attractive place to start a business than the United Kingdom." Okay, you're not starting a business.
Getting real petty.
Yeah. You're not
I mean-
starting anything. You're trying to take over a thing, and it's a massive thing. It's not a little thing. So, look, I'm actually overall in the large scheme of things. We've talked about it many times on the show. I'm for this acquisition. What I'm not for is this pretending like Microsoft's somehow a victim because this block came up. Like, boo freaking who?
It's like the kid you told not to have dessert after you gave him 2 pieces of cake. But I want the whole cake. It's not fair.
Yeah, everybody wants the whole
just like,
cake.
All right. Like, shut up. Like,
Don't you want
whatever.
the? I mean,
you don't
I
get to own all the video game companies.
right.
Boo hoo to you.
Yeah, boo hoo if you own just not 3 of them.
That's
or
what
something.
I mean. Yeah.
I don't know. They now here's what they said. Activision Blizzard's take was very similar. In a statement, they said this is from the company. One would assume maybe even Bobby Kotick.
No, Bobby had a specific quote. So
we'll have to.
you're
Okay.
reading Bobby's quote.
Yeah, let's get
He
to that.
went once again. Every time Bobby gets involved, he's got a real.
Do you have it handy?
I feel like it has to be read when he speaks. I don't know if that's how he actually sounds, but that's what I hear in my head when I read his.
Was that like the penguin or something, or what was that you did? Yeah. Okay, give it to. Do you have his quote handy? You want to read it and do it in that voice?
Let me see if I can find Bobby's.
Okay, while you find it, I'll read this one. This is Activision Blizzard. I'm not. They said the company said, whoever that is. The report's conclusions are a disservice to UK citizens who face an increasingly dire economic prospects. We will reassess our growth plans for the UK. Global innovators, large and small, will take note that despite all of its rhetoric, the UK is clearly closed for business. Whew, man. There's some spit flying on this deal, you know? Did you find Bobby's quote?
I found his whole statement. I'm trying to see what part would be entertaining to read.
Right, because it's not all good from Bobby.
No, and honestly, this is less salt than the last one.
Yeah.
There was one where he was like, "We're entering a terrible age where people are blocked from democracy." Like it was just, it was big.
Yeah.
He went big last time. This one seems a little more normal.
All right. Let's see here. I'm trying to find it too, and I can't find it.
Here we go. Here
Okay,
it is.
Go.
This merger is a complex process, and I know I'm not the only one frustrated by the hurdles and delays. We're accustomed to a company culture that moves quickly to accomplish big goals, so it's tough when we can't close things out at our usual energetic pace.
Yeah, should have had this going. Just some evil, dark business there from Bobby.
And in case anybody's like, why is John being so mean to this exec? I will just answer a chat room question. This is the same guy that threatened to kill his employee. Yes.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
that's that guy.
That is the very
someone
same.
was saying, "Why are we being mean to Bobby Kotick?"
They
Like,
better
he's
not
human.
ask that. Yeah, is there been a better definition of punching up ever in the history of the world? than
He's
this?
literally a human shit stain. Like
Just
doesn't- it's beyond punching up or down. It's just he's a disgusting, despicable human being.
Oh, here's a final thing he said. He said, "Far from the final word on this deal." That's one more thing he said. Far from it.
like, here's the thing. So many people are excited about this deal,
Yeah.
mostly on the grounds that they hope it leads to the dismissal of Bobby Kotick.
Yeah.
So it's odd to hear from him because I know, and who knows, we don't know that he'll
Dismissal.
actually be gone. But I think I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Scott, where it's like, sure, I don't think we should have monopolies. We shouldn't exactly have one company in charge of everything.
Yeah.
I actually would be interested. DM's open if you work for the companies. I would be curious what actual game developers think about this deal, because it's so easy for us to sit there and go, oh, life under Microsoft would be so much better than life under Activision. That's an assumption. But I am curious what the people who are actually working in the studios think about this sort of thing. Are they optimistic? Do they see it as just trading one taskmaster for another? Like,
They're not
what is the
allowed-
general consensus of
Everybody wants to know that, John. That would be like such prime reporting. I'm sure they're like have gags on their employment contracts.
I bet. Well, I'm not going to be like, well, here's the
'Cause
message.
it
from
could affect
so-and-so.
it. It could affect the
But-
deal, right? You could be like, whatever information might actually just impact what's
Yeah,
going on.
if the head of the Diablo 4 team, for example, was allowed to just say what he thinks on this issue, I can't
Yeah,
imagine
it's
that's
probably
even
not
allowed.
great. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm curious about, because again, it's easy for us as talking heads to just be like, well, I miss a Blizzard that I can actually be excited and proud of. Maybe if we can get Bobby out of there and those knuckleheads and get Microsoft in, it will be better.
Yeah.
But I am curious, like, is that the sentiment of people that are actually impacted by this? Not just
Microsoft.
us consumers
Yeah.
going, yeah, I think that'd be
Microsoft,
better.
the company that launched Halo Infinite to
Yeah. Yeah.
maximum mediocrity. Apparently, that whole studio is getting nuked from orbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's a real
the
flub, by
thing.
the way.
No, it's a huge flub.
We could talk. There's not really articles about this, and we can make it up to our Switch and PlayStation fans by saying like, Halo Infinite, get your bleeper or marker. Big fuck up.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
big
know.
fuck up on the part of Microsoft. That is their That's their Mario. You don't see Nintendo handling Mario like they handled Infinite.
Yeah.
That is their ambassador.
Yeah.
And it was a good game. Let's say
It
no
is a good
shade
game.
on the game or
It's
the
a
tools.
good game. Yeah, it's fine.
But the marketing, the treatment of it, what they did with it,
Yeah.
they could have done better. It wasn't good enough, and now they're nuking the whole company
yeah,
from orbit.
I think it
that's
was a
Yeah.
absolute mistake.
That game.
Like anybody,
Aloy is a way more recognizable and marketable mascot for Sony than Master Chief is right now. I'm sorry.
ask almost anybody what their experience playing through Halo is, and I guarantee you it's either multiplayer only or playing co-op with someone, and that game launched without co-op.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's an obvious mistake, and I think, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, I have said many times, and I stand by, that as much as I like Game Pass lacks a killer app.
Yeah.
Game Pass's value is in quantity, but there has yet to be something that is Microsoft exclusive that is so hands down quality you have to get Game Pass. And that's why I get so nervous about things like Starfield, which I don't think looks good, about Redfall, which keeps getting a whole lot of bad publicity about it, and is real questionable. They need something that's going to say like, hey, this is a Game Pass game and it's good. And I think that if Microsoft feels so defeated and so, down and petty about this deal falling through, maybe they should hang their hat on building something good, unique for them instead of just acquiring more stuff.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you on principle, but I think that there is a possible take on this that says Microsoft's killer Game Pass app is Game Pass and its breadth. Like that is the killer app.
Yeah, and that's why I'm subscribed to it. I've been subscribed to it since it came out for that reason.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you have to have games to sell to people.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Because this could go the same way as, that everybody says Game Pass shorthand, Netflix for video games. What happened to Netflix? Everybody said we're going to find a subscription model for our services. We're going to keep it in-house. If that same thing happens with video games, what does Microsoft have at the end of the day?
Yeah.
If you have to sub to the studios that you like the quality products from.
Yeah.
Like they stand to literally go the way of Netflix for video games unless they can come up with a way to say, no, Game Pass is where you play this and this is what you got.
I just think there's some value in trying to define what a killer app is for that service or any service. Like I don't know what Sony's is, if they have one. Do they have a killer
Sony's
app?
got lots. God of War, Uncharted.
Those are great games, no question, but they're not all in. Well, they're not all in their thing, and some of them are getting
Depends
pulled.
which of the three you're talking
Well, no,
about.
I'm not talking about subscription service. I mean what sells.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Microsoft hangs its hat on Game Pass. That's what they use to sell systems and push their thing forward. Sony, the first thing you say when people say, which console should I buy? Our default answer has always been, well, what exclusives do you like? Because if you care about Sony exclusives, and a lot of people do,
get a PlayStation.
You have to go that way.
Yeah.
Like for a company that fought so hard to prevent Microsoft from acquiring studios to have exclusives, their whole hat is hung on the quality exclusives that they have.
Yeah. You're right.
So
you're absolutely right. No, their killer app is that as a general rule. Forget about monthly subscription models. Their killer app is like the best studio produced, especially single player games, maybe of all time. Like they have they have many of those. They don't just stop with one. Man, the PlayStation people, you better be nice to me for the next 6 months for the shit we're saying right now. Okay? Listen.
No. Actually, all the places, it's just funny because we're fighting about who's winning second place because we all know who first place is.
Yeah.
Mobile.
Yeah.
Like,
He's not
Sony
wrong.
should be mad
Wrong.
at anyone. It should be mad at mobile. Like they're fighting each other over second place. Or
Yeah, but you're not wrong. Like there's that's real. Like the money, the big huge behemoth money is in mobile, and part of that is why this is. I think the hang up is in the UK is, well, no one's saying it, but I think a huge part of the hang up is that King is massive, and that's the big berry on this thing. And I think
they do gambling stuff, like casino machines and stuff.
Do they? Does King? I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I thought so.
I know there was an Angry Birds. That's not them, but there was an Angry Birds slot machine that I saw while I was in Vegas. That was cool.
I think they do mobile, but I also just think like, those slot machines and stuff, those run on programs. And I thought King was part of actually making casino shit.
Oh, they might be. Yeah, this one thing I noticed this year. So it's been true for a while, but I just kind of paid attention. I was in the casino. I was like, oh boy, a bunch of these last year were different than they are this year. And I realized, no, those are the same units. Everything on them is programmable. So they're kind of dumb terminals. They're beautiful. These big curved screens. They're huge now. But all you do is put new software in it and say, all right, well, last year this was a Fury Road double machine, and this year it's a Game of Thrones or a Dune 2 or Dune Part 2 double machine or whatever. And they have color LEDs that now match the new color schemes. They have all the display stuff is all video, so you don't have to put signage on anything. Like that business is super interesting to me. But if King is involved in there somehow, I would not be surprised because that stuff's it's not mechanical at all anymore. None of it. It's all video games.
Well,
they're bad video games, but they're video games.
Company too, because everything of theirs is a Saga game. I'm just looking it up now.
No,
like Candy Crush Saga, Diamond Digger Saga, Bottom Blast Saga. No, Blossom Blast.
Bottom Blast Saga is a game I can relate to.
Yeah, that's a game Bo is basically making that game.
Anyways, but then they were suing the Banner Saga over trademark infringement because they think they own the word Saga.
Oh,
Bunch
what
of assholes!
That's lame. Really? You can't take that word. That's then
There's
sue
literally
Star
a comic
Wars.
called Saga.
Look at what Monster does. Everybody's gonna try.
Oh my gosh,
Monster
hate that.
Energy sues anybody.
Do you know how nervous that makes me?
Monster.
It's a good thing I'm low profile because that kind of stuff makes me nervous. I'm using certain terms on cards in this game, and I'm being very careful to avoid card terms and or actions that are.
Oh, watch out! Don't tap your cards.
That's what I'm saying. You can't say
Wizards
tap.
of the Coast will come at you. We own the word tap.
Yeah, if you say tap, they'll
you
sue
turn
you.
a card sideways and call it tap. Pay us $1 million.
Yeah, lame, right? How many nuggets in are we, by the way?
That's why. Oh fuck!
There's at least 3 in there right
I didn't
now
think I'd get called out on how much of a pick I was being.
No, it's just
we are.
I'm very curious.
There's 20 McNuggets.
Oh,
I'm just trying to do math here. I have 7.5 remaining, so that's 12.5.
Oh my lord! Are you gonna be okay? Is your mom on standby in case I don't know? I don't know what happens if you eat too many nuggets.
I mean, I got a cell phone. We'll call the ambulance if
All right, it'll be fine. You get good health.
I mean, I'm not eating anything else except Pepsi.
What else was I going to say? That sounds like a really high quality meal you're having tonight, by the way.
You got derailed by mukbang.
Yeah.
Mukbang Bo.
20 chicken nuggets and a Pepsi. That's what I'm eating tonight, apparently.
So some of this one final thing
Don't
I would
act
say
like you're better, that you eat any better.
No, neither of us
Kim
do.
wasn't there right now, you'd have a hot dog and pita with cheese and eggs.
I have a steak. What's left of a steak and mashed potatoes right over there. I eat. I just don't eat on the stream.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, here's the thing.
That's the only difference between you and me.
I go back and forth. Kim will make very good food in this house for everybody when she does, but when she doesn't, I crave pizzas, hot dogs, corn dogs, crap I shouldn't eat. And in Vegas, I ate a lot of crap I shouldn't eat.
Oh yeah, what was the best thing you ate though?
Oh, by far, we went to. Oh, by the way, I got to meet Lamar Wilson.
Oh, nice.
He's a YouTuber, big YouTuber. We've been friends online forever. We never met, so we got to meet at this Italian place in Caesars, and he's the nicest dude. Just really loved hanging out with him. Anyway, he sat next to me, and then we did family style for about 12 of us. It was like a producers type dinner thing that we did early. It was like Monday, and this Italian place, you guys know Buca di Beppo is big in the States, but it's not great food.
What?
It's
what
more
is
of
it called?
It's called Buca di Beppo. This isn't where we ate. The place we ate is called Carmine's. But Carmine's is like that big family
guy
style.
from Gears of War.
Yes, that guy from Gears of War. He started his own restaurant.
Restaurant. Damn.
Yeah, it's not Italian or anything. Anyway, they bring out all this food family style. So it's like, oh, this weird fettuccine linguine. Well, I don't know the names of this stuff, but it was all really legit and freaking amazing and very expensive. But it was so good that I don't even like Italian food that much. I find it too heavy and whatever, it overwhelms me. This stuff was fresh and amazing and just, oh my gosh, it was so good. But the single best thing I ate in Vegas last week, bar none, and I didn't go everywhere, obviously there's lots of places to go, but there's a hot dog place at the end of Fremont Street downtown called Dirt Dogs. It's called Dirt Dogs. And there's no dirt in it, but they have the most amazing, fully dressed out hot dogs you have ever seen. And even their most basic one is just this beast with just like the best stuff in it. I just about wanted to live there. It was so good. I can't even tell you.
You got to respect a food place that puts in its name something that isn't appetizing, because you have to try harder.
Yeah.
Like if you go to a place called Shitty Burger, it's probably going to be a good burger because like, they have to get over the hurdle of the name to begin with.
You're not wrong. Shitty Burger. I would eat at Shitty Burger because I would trust it's like this. It's like, oh well, they're flippantly just saying shitty in there, even though the burger's great because that's how good it is, and that's how Dirt Dog is. It's so good. Oh my gosh.
What if it's just the guy's last name? Like it doesn't mean shitty in this culture. It's just
Yeah,
shitty.
Shitty Bill. One final note on this. The UK does this a lot. Here's some precedent for you. The CMA also blocked Meta's $315 million acquisition of Giphy in 2021, and they appealed it. It was upheld in late 2022. This forced Meta / Facebook to divest the GIF database and search engine. So that whole Giphy belongs to Facebook thing never happened, which I'm kind of glad of. But anyway, every time you do like a GIF thing in almost any service where they have a GIF button, it's almost always API'd into Giphy, which is why Meta wanted it. So they turned that down. They're no stranger to being a little hard ass on this kind of stuff. So how will the appeal go? I don't know. Phil Spencer came out and said that he felt really strongly that they still had a good case and that it would go through. Others in the company said even if it doesn't, we're still marching ahead with or without him. So who knows how this turns out, but that's where it's at.
Well, we'll see.
Yep.
See what happens.
Let's move on to this week's. Oh, I've lost my place. Oh, no, I know what it is. This right here. It's this week's patron question of the week. We got one from Sam Hinshaw. It's a cool name. One of our longtime patrons wrote in and says, how do you decide whether to use a controller or keyboard and mouse when playing a game? Do you stick with one for the whole game, or do you go back and forth? I thought this was interesting because I think of the three of us, I'm very happy to pull up my controller when needed. Like for right now, I'm playing Jedi Survivor, and it even recommends playing with a controller. I would recommend that as well if you're playing on PC. And I got this brand new. I got it for $25 on Amazon. They're usually 60 or something, but I like 8-Bit Do a lot. They make a lot of retro controllers, like this old.
I was going to say, it looks like Xbox.
Looks almost like an Xbox controller. Like you got it out of a vending machine.
Yeah, it's not quite there,
like
right?
A claw machine. I got an Xbix.
Yep. But
an Xbix controller.
And I've got like Series X controllers in the other room, but I really like and this one's wired, which is part of the reason I wanted it. I don't know. I just don't like Bluetooth controller on my PC. So anyway, these are so great. I love this controller. I don't know if it's still on sale. I would highly recommend it though. Really tight, nice, sturdy. They just make good controllers. I like those guys. But anyway, if a game is suited to controller, I will do that. If a game is not, I won't. There are a few exceptions where they cross over really well. For example, Monster Train is a card battler game that's amazing. Made by the people that are making John's favorite demo a couple of months ago. What was that game called? You were super into it though.
Oh, the something with ink in the name. Right?
Oh, Inkbound, right?
Inkbound, yes.
That's that developer, and Monster Train's amazing. I like it better than Slay the Spire, which I know is a sacrosanct thing to say, but I like it better overall. Anyway, it is really good with controller or keyboard and mouse, so that's one where I could go either way. But if a game's suited to controller, I do that. If a game's suited to, sometimes I'll play a shooter though that I if it's single player like Mass Effect or I don't know, what did we just play? Dead Space, the remake. I will play with controller. I'm playing RE4 that way with John because I think those games are just really fun with controller, and I have better posture with controller. That's the main thing. I don't get all cranky and my neck doesn't hurt as bad. But if I'm playing Dyson Sphere Program or, I don't know, StarCraft or Diablo or some of these other games, I'd probably lean more keyboard and mouse. Although Diablo, I'm still trying to decide which I'm going to do because they both played really well. Anyway, curious what you guys would say as probably the more keyboardy, micey people in my life.
I think I'm probably in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
Like if I can get away with a controller, if it feels good enough with the controller, I will want to lean that way for similar reasons. I get to sit back a little. It feels a little more relaxed. I'm not kind of up on the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
But I do like mouse and keyboard for some things. We were talking a lot about Everspace 2. I play that mouse and keyboard. I just found I liked the feel of that game, mouse and keyboard, better. Diablo, mouse and keyboard. For me, it's really just a feel thing. Like you get in there and you know it. And there's some games where it is just obviously better with a controller, and there are some games where it just feels obviously better with a mouse and keyboard. And there are some that just kind of float in the middle, like the new Resident Evil 4. I played with a controller. I think that might be just a legacy feeling. I did play it a little bit mouse and keyboard just to see what it was like. In fact, one of the things I did as sort of a cheat is the shooting gallery in that game. I switched to mouse and keyboard for the shooting gallery, which felt like cheating because I was like, oh, it's so much easier to aim. But I don't feel like that game is so heavy on how you aim and making sure you line up shots perfectly that it's worth it to just sit back and play with the controller to me.
Yeah.
So it's a feeling thing. I think it can be a little bit of both. I don't have a default. It's just sort of I'll get in and sort of see how it feels and go with what feels most comfortable. But I like to change it up. I like to do both.
Yeah, same. That feels a lot like me. Bo, do you where do you land on this?
Mouse and keyboard unless I have to.
Yeah. Even when we played what was the car?
Rocket League with
Rocket League with mouse and
say,
keyboard.
that was the one I remember going.
Yeah.
It's like skating on rubber. Like to aim with a controller for me, I have no precision. I have high expectations of my ability to be precise, and I cannot be precise with a controller.
That's true.
Probably why I get better. I get frustrated. Games.
Yeah, that's why you're so good, dude. I think you've mastered the form, and you don't need anything.
Not all games work. Like I play Hades with a controller for sure. Some games are designed, like you mentioned, top down to be better with the controller, particularly third-person action games, since those tend to be on consoles more than a PC sale, so they tend to be more thoughtfully designed for controller. But even when I use it, and they have like Witcher, you could play with a controller, and then you got to use the crossbow.
Yeah,
and it's already programmed badly. It's not even because it's on a controller. The aiming on that crossbow is bad to begin with, so it's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
So if it involves aiming, like no way, Jose.
Do either of you
play the game?
Do either of you have a HOTAS or whatever laying around, or a HOTA, as I said a couple of weeks ago?
No,
no,
I don't have a HOTAS.
I'm not that picky about it. Although I was reminded today, and we'll get to it in the Dear Martha, but I was reminded about a lot of great video game peripherals that used to exist in my life that I don't have anymore. I used to be a big proponent of the Microsoft Sidewinder joystick and game pads and stuff like that. The Wild West days of the PC where controls were just like whatever. I can remember a time where I would hold a controller in one hand and push keys on my keyboard with the other hand.
Yeah.
And that was video gaming. Like it took a while for us to figure it out, and the tools didn't really change all that much, but we didn't know. There wasn't a set way of like, well, this is how you have to play at a computer. Like you just sort of had to figure it out. And I played through some real dumb control schemes in my life.
Yeah. Well,
I used to be the person who would remap their movement keys to the arrow keys.
Oh my Lord.
Like it took me a long time to get WASD.
I know, right? That freaks me out to even think about, but I understand it. Like there was a time in
That's
those.
what the arrow keys are for. Who would use just random letters on the keyboard?
Right, exactly. When I was playing
Under-
Quake and Unreal, or not Quake and Unreal, Quake and Doom back in those days, it was all your options were arrow keys. There was no WASD. Nobody was doing that. And now we have keyboards where those are like raised up with special textures and lights and stuff, so everybody can see their WASD, stand out and make sure that's how they use it. But back in the day, that would seem stupid. Like, I'm using the W. Like, it's a little janky if you think about it, how we control video games on a keyboard. It's just like this thing I usually type letters with and answer my accountant with. I'm gonna go ahead and fight people in a video game.
The key density is what's comfortable.
Yeah.
It's the key density.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
And then ubiquitousness of just a standard keyboard. You don't have to go get a special controller. Any keyboard will do.
Yeah, Troll Dan in the chat's got a good reminder. It says WASD was a option in Quake, but it wasn't the default because people hadn't considered it until Thresh popularized it. Was Thresh like a pro player? I think that sounds familiar.
But I mean, that's to the point, is like, we didn't know. So as weird as it is to say, well, John, why are you using arrow keys? We didn't know. There wasn't a set thing. Like, It was something. It was annoying too, because you'd go over to your friend's house and you'd go to play. They'd be like, "Oh, can I play Half-Life while I'm over here?" And you'd sit down, and their controls would be completely different than what your controls are at home. You'd be like, "I can't play this game over here," despite the fact that we have the same setup, because everybody just set it to weird stuff. It feels like it took a while before it was real uniform.
Oh, here it is. Dennis Thresh Fong, winner of John Carmack's Ferrari in a tournament they did. Now I remember. He was like early esportsy name. Anyway.
Yeah, well, as soon as somebody does something and wins, everyone's like, "What's the meta? Let me do the thing."
Yeah, what does that guy do exactly? It's funny how that shapes it.
And that probably did give him an advantage because he had the sprint button or whatever it was he needed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I still do it to a degree. Diablo gets immediately reset. I don't like using the number keys for abilities. I set it to MOBA controls. So
yeah, I actually use ZXCV for my primary fork because I like the shift. I might hold the shift down and it's closer to shift.
Oh wow! Okay, I can see
Shift
this.
is you won't move when you aim an attack.
Right.
So actually, Diablo.
that's
is
actually pretty smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
I use ZXCV. A is my potion. Like Diablo and ARPGs, I remap completely usually every time I play them.
I use spacebar for holding still. Is that weird? I always remap it to that.
No,
'Cause my thumb's
like
right
that's
there.
the thing, is I feel
Spacebar's
like
dash now,
ARPGs
though.
are still very customizable, which is why it's weird when you hear about people wanting less options, or saying like, yeah, we limit it. It should only be played one way.
Yeah.
Well, they do it for controllers because controllers you
kinda
can't remap
crazy
the
to
same
me,
to
but-
the extent you can remap a keyboard.
Right,
you know?
that's true. Real quick, I ran a poll in the chat. Controller or keyboard and mouse. The winner here, that probably says a lot about our crowd, but 60% mouse and keyboard. Preferred control method for others, which is controller. 42, now 58-42. So
Yeah, but I think a lot of people, if you had included, mix of both, I think we would have seen a different split, because
yeah,
I don't prefer one over the other. Like, it just, one feels right for a certain type of game, and it's not even universal. Like, nearly 100% of the time I prefer mouse and keyboard in a first person shooter, but not 100%.
right.
So it's weird.
It's weird how much I like Call of Duty with a controller, even competitive. And it's probably because that game was, like, for me, the first Modern Warfare, or Call of Duty 4, as it was known, was purely a 360 experience, a Xbox 360 game, and later PlayStation 3 game, and it's all I played it on then. So there's a muscle memory component as well, where I'm just like, that's how you play COD. And so even if I'm on a PC, I'm like, this doesn't feel right unless I'm holding that controller. It's weird.
Same principle, but mouse and keyboard, because I played Call of Duty originally on the PC for so long.
Same deal,
The idea of playing it on controller, like when I played it on 360, I was like, this feels wrong to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Halo is kind of like that. I think I did play Halo Infinite with mouse and keyboard, but Halo for a long time to me was just play it with a controller.
Yeah, same. I did that with Infinite.
For it.
Infinite's all right. Infinite's, you know what?
It's okay, but
I'll say it's
a
in
ball drop.
It's also in a better place than it was then. It's doing okay. I wish it would have been like Bo is right that if you're Microsoft and your next Halo game isn't the end all be all rock your world, you've screwed up, because why would you not make that your priority?
Yeah, where's my Halo VR game?
Well,
Like they could partner up with
that's
somebody.
maybe not the direction to go. But
No, it is like it's just marketing. Like it doesn't have to be their best game. Like
Yeah.
why would PlayStation make a VR headset and make Call of the Mountain? Even if you don't play it, it's like it's cool. Like they put a lot of love into it. It was well reviewed. Like they're just they're treating their flagship property with respect. Same with Mario. There's like a ton of Mario games. Doesn't Mario get old? It's like no.
no, they
Mario's,
keep reinventing it.
important. That's what like Microsoft is not like respect. That's why it's like, do we really want Blizzard to shepherd in a bunch of beloved characters that they're going to flounder? You could look at
Yes.
this as kind of a victory, actually.
John says yes.
They should sell the company. They should sell Blizzard to Chris Metzen. I know
Yeah.
Chris doesn't want it, so he can find someone else. He let him find good people to take over, not the executive at Activision.
Well, to be fair, I don't think he could afford it if he did want it.
No,
but,
for $1. They sell it for $1. That way,
Oh.
Call of Duty's. That way,
Gotcha.
Activision can then get sold.
I
Take
see.
Blizzard out of the equation. Like to me, that's always the ideal outcome. Sell your Call of Duty and King. Like who gives a shit? Get Blizzard to somebody who cares about the company. Let that be a happy ending.
Yeah.
And then I know Chris probably doesn't want it, but he can just hold it for a few weeks while he finds somebody who's a real. He'll find someone good to
Yeah,
run
he
through
could
the
do it.
ship.
Yeah.
And then sort it out from there.
Just sell
I
Blizzard.
I sorted it out like half a year ago, guys. Like just Phil Spencer. Like
He's your
get
guy.
everyone on the phone. Invite me. We'll
Yeah.
sort this out.
Okay. All right, Phil. I mean, we've got your picture of your
Court
face.
Bow strikes again. He's got a plan.
Yeah.
He's
I
ready.
figured it
He's
out.
ready to. He's ready to. He's ready.
As
to
a
help
fan
you.
of Blizzard, you'll agree with me that it's Chris will be good hands for the company. It doesn't matter who owns it, as long as we get good quality Blizzard products. It doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter, and the employees are treated well.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I
Let's
agree.
go.
Those are the only two things I want out of Blizzard. I want amazing games and people to be treated well.
I want people.
That's
I
it.
want people. I want the people. I want the marketing that Chris made. That's why I keep picking on Chris.
Yeah.
Because he made the marketing. It's a workshop full of people that respect each other. I really loved the videos and the presentations he did. They resonated with me, and I thought about them a lot, which is rare for corporate marketing. And I'd love to see it live up to that expectation that he set forth. And that's why his name comes to mind when I think of this, because I know he'll respect
Yeah,
the
it's
worker.
Yeah.
And even in your interviews, I think I've got that impression from him.
Yeah.
And then we can find the right people to
Yeah.
give it to.
Which is Bo and VR, his VR initiative.
That would be a wild outcome, right?
Yeah.
Bo, I can't do core anymore, guys. I'm going to be CEO and owner of Blizzard.
Can you imagine?
Reason.
I mean, if there are truly infinite universes all tied together, and we're always
if
splitting off
I'm
new
the
decisions.
CEO, like we're getting a StarCraft, we're getting a Diablo, Heroes of the Stormy Sports is coming back, baby. I'm going to sink the company. It's
If
going to be
Bo
awesome.
is the CEO of Blizzard, he's getting daily emails from me that just say, "Just make the game,"
Yeah.
and then a game ID.
You
below
think
it.
Then
you're
you-
getting out of working for Blizzard if I get hired as CEO? I'm going to force you to take a job there. They're going to give you a salary you wouldn't be able to refuse.
John needs to make a wrestling game for Blizzard. Which will,
Almost any salary is a salary I can't refuse.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
it's
not
true.
expensive.
yeah.
American salaries are so low, I can probably get you to work for a box of chicken nuggets a week. And
Yeah,
you'd be
why
like,
not?
That'd be
"Wow, I can
nice.
sell
That'd
these."
save me a lot of time and money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, Sam. Hopefully that answered your question about controllers and mice and keyboards. And we hope you enjoyed it. Let's get to our week in gaming. That's right. We played games this week, and I thought I was going to have no time for any, but I somehow managed to squeeze 3 in. One of them today for a couple hours. I did a stream as well with it. But anyway, let's start with what I did right before I left. The final day or the night before I got out of town. Oh my gosh, why is C-3PO in Bo's screen?
It's my
I don't
mug.
know, but
Sorry.
I looked away at the show notes and I looked back and I had a genuine moment of worry.
My
Yeah.
mom bought me a mug today from the thrift shop. Do you like my C3PO
I love it.
mug?
Yeah.
It's golden and shiny and
Is it-
It is
Can-
very
can it-
intense. I just
I
like
speak
there
in
was
3
a
million different
golden
languages.
idol looking into my soul when I turned to
Oh
it.
yeah. Ooh di do stiba dida tupatak.
Yeah, you know how to speak that because you're a
Ewok.
what do they call them?
The DM.
What's his?
Ewoks.
Well, yeah, but what's his kind of droid?
He's
He's a
translation droid or
protocol
That's
droid. That's it. Whatever that even means. That's such nonsense.
Well, he's
protocol.
programmed for etiquette and protocol.
Yeah, but Protocol
Like
means
No, when
human
you
communications
go to
protocol.
meet with the Jawas, he's
Yeah.
the one that says, "Oh, well, Jawas are
yeah. Do you think they'll ever do?
Oh,
Sorry,
leave stuff on the table."
total side note means nothing. Has nothing to do with what we're about to talk about. But do you guys think they'll ever do Disney Plus movies, whatever Lucasfilm will ever do a droids only television series? And I don't mean like animated, like the old 3PO R2D2 piece of crap.
like the
Yes.
TV show Droids.
Yeah, like droids. I don't mean like that, but like a
They
modern.
will. There are episodes of Clone Wars and Rebels that are just droids. That's Dave Filoni's fault. Dave Filoni's still very much involved. You're getting a droids episode of something at some point.
I mean,
guarantee it.
I'm not opposed to it if it's done right. I think it could be
That
cool.
Mandalorian episode. Have you watched Mandalorian?
I'm not
yet?
caught up this season.
Okay. There is almost an all droids episode, but not quite.
No. Yeah.
So they're edging ever closer, removing more and more humans from episodes. There is a droid centric episode.
That's another thing I did over the weekend for the week in Vegas. I downloaded the rest of all of Picard season 3 and all of Mandalorian season 3, thinking that I'll be home, I'll be in the hotel at night, or I'll be in the car on the way there and way back. I'll just watch all these episodes. I never watched a damn thing.
I watched Picard season 3.
Yeah.
My goodness, the award for most improved
Yep.
goes to Picard.
Yeah.
Took 3 seasons to become the show you wanted, but holy shit, once we got there, was it the show you wanted it to be?
But isn't that like all Star Trek? They take 3 seasons to become the show you want. They always do.
Pretty much, but my goodness, the jump up in quality. I had to watch, so I did not watch season 2. I had enough people tell me it was bad. I was like, I don't want to suffer.
Anything.
I don't want to suffer through a bad season. I watched a summary of what happened before I started 3 in case it was important. It wasn't. But in case it was important, I watched it, and I got bored watching the summary for season 2.
I thought 2 was okay. 2 was focused on some stuff I like some Borg stuff, which I think is kind of important for how 3 goes, is my understanding. There's some Borg shit that starts in season 2.
You could just pretend 1 and 2 don't exist. And
Yeah,
3 still
in
makes
fact,
sense
it's
pretty much.
probably better you don't.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I did. I went through the pain of doing it. I'll admit 2 wasn't that great. I thought it was better than 1 though. I liked it better than season 1. I thought season 1 was just too up its own butt. I didn't enjoy it. But I've heard nothing but amazing things about 3. I was all set, downloaded it all, got there, didn't watch a damn bit. So that's my job this next week.
It's
I
The
know.
only thing, I'm
excited.
ripping this Band-Aid off now. No Miles O'Brien. Just ripping
that
it
is, yeah, that is a bit of a bummer.
off. I was a bit bummed about that.
Well,
No Miles. No Keiko. No Miles.
No Keiko,
No
no-
Alexander. No Alexander.
no Alexander.
Can I say this though? Like, I know everybody loves him, and I did to say that he wasn't my favorite doesn't mean I hated it, but everybody loved Worf in The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine
Yeah.
more than I did.
Oh, I love
Like,
Worf. You kidding me?
my position on Worf was lower than everybody else's, but I still liked him.
Yeah.
But old Worf in season 3 of Picard, I was like, finally, this is the character.
This is the
First
Worf
of all,
you wanted.
He's never looked cooler than he does in Picard season 3.
That's
Old
true.
Worf is the coolest looking character. In
Never
the
been
world,
cooler.
Yeah.
Never been
and
funnier
he's
either. Like, actually.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
His stock went way up for Picard.
He's
season
kind
3
of the
for me.
MVP of the season, I think.
He's
I mean,
been
you like them
saying,
all,
listen,
but,
he's been
yeah.
saying for years, please give me a show. Let me do more Star Trek.
Yeah.
Why is everyone doing shit
Yeah.
but me? Give me a spinoff, whatever. And everyone kind of blew it off like, all right, Michael Dorn, calm down. You've had your moment or whatever. And I think he's finally like, shit, I get a whole season where I get to be the Worf I want to be. And he just blew everybody's mind. I say still give him a spinoff. Still have something.
They alluded to a big story involving Worf that they do not indulge, and
Okay.
They could
that
have.
he might be the reason why the Enterprise lettering is higher than E in this universe. So I would
right.
love to see that. I would love to know how that happened.
I thought they all looked great in what I've seen, bits and pieces and scenes. So I just got to watch it. I'm going to start tonight and go.
It's good, man.
Yeah, very excited. Well done to them. This is now the second TNG series that got good after season 3.
Oh, and also I'll say this is the biggest credit to it, is it ends in a way where I immediately wanted a follow-up series. As soon as it was done, I was like, well, I will watch this show, make this show, and I will watch it.
Yeah.
And it got me the most excited about Star Trek that I've been since probably like TNG movie days.
Damn.
Yeah, good things can come out of this season too, I guess is what John's trying. Like if they do something that continues whatever happens here,
Mhm.
I can't wait. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
I mean, there's no season 4
What
to this,
exists
obviously,
at
but
the end of season 3 is a show I would watch, or a movie I would watch, or limited series I would watch. Whatever it is, I would watch.
you would watch it. You're already in.
Yes.
You're signed up and ready to rock.
Chad says,
And
"Make show go."
lastly-
Yes.
Make-
Packlet
Lastly, this
said,
season
"Make show
has
go."
a Downton Abbey connection.
Really? Is it?
Yeah.
I like
There's
what's
an
her
actor
name.
from Downton Abbey, and it's great in Downton Abbey. That's also in the season, and you're like, you see him, and you're like, oh, I like that guy.
Is it
And
that
you're-
Donahue
I'm
guy?
happy he's in the show.
It's not the Donahue
that?
guy who's like the main, the king of the castle, basically on that show. It's not
No,
him.
no. It's a young guy. So I think this guy's only in one season of Downton Abbey. He comes on as one of the sub butlers,
Hmm.
and Thomas has a crush on him, but I can't remember his name. He doesn't swing that way, and they have an altercation, and then they make up, and they're friends.
Yeah.
It's Downton Abbey. So it's serious for a minute, and then it's everyone finds a
Is
way to be
it? Is it
civil.
this Ed Spleeners guy? Is this who it
Yeah,
is?
that's it. Ed Spleet. Love this guy.
Okay. Plays Jack
he's in it.
Crusher. Yeah.
Well, don't spoil yourself now.
I won't. I know who Jack Crusher is. It's I know. And listen, the other thing I want to say about this, we've talked about how cool Worf looks. I think Dr. Crusher looks bad effing ass in this.
Yeah.
She looks really cool. I don't know why her arms are 14 inches longer than everyone else's, but she looks rad. And even that's cool. I want longer
Everybody
arms.
was great in this, honestly.
Yeah, I've heard Riker. I've heard people
liked
raving about
every version
Riker.
of these characters.
All right, you guys you've convinced me. I'm watching tonight.
There's a
after we're done.
Riker Worf moment that made me laugh out loud at a time when I was trying to be quiet because the baby was sleeping, but it made me just crack up laughing.
Did you wake
So
up the
good.
baby? Did the
I
baby?
did not wake up
no?
the baby,
Okay.
but I was concerned for a minute.
Good boy, Alexander. Good boy.
Yeah.
Well,
Worf, my
now
son's name, same as Worf's son.
now we really will talk about the games that we played. Now.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No. It's my fault.
1 hour detour. You're like, I'm about to talk about the games we played. John and I rudely derailed you.
No. Totally my fault because I was talking about Vegas again. But V Rising. It's a game of note here on the show. We had a real moment with it last year when it was in its its first initial release and everything. And while still in early access, I got curious. We talked last week a little bit about it, and I got curious. I just wanted to get in there. The first thing I did actually was to check the server that Bo had. It's not there anymore, but it's still in my list. And so
I
I
took
thought,
it down. I paid. Speaking of things you pay for
yeah,
a long time and don't use, I think I paid like 8 months of that thing, and nobody was playing.
nobody
on it.
was in there.
Anyway,
Yeah, which
GG,
was a real bummer. But I saw it listed, and I thought, oh, this. Is it still up? Because I didn't know if it was just the game just has a cache of what I've been to, and that turns out that is what it was. But I thought maybe it was there, and I clicked it, and I went in and went, sorry, this doesn't exist. So anyway, I started a new game and just did some rule tweaking, which is something I wanted to play with before and just never got around to, just to make it a little less rough in the beginnings areas. I didn't jump levels or anything, but I like nighttime lasts longer, daytime's a little shorter. By the time sunlight's starting to kill you, I get a little extra second of time or something, just to kind of smooth out things. Anyway, that game's highly tweakable, and I forgot how much I freaking love V Rising. V Rising's freaking great. That is a great video game. And
Yeah, it's stellar. I didn't finish it because I didn't do all the things, but I felt like I'd mined a lot of it for most of its value. So
yeah, I think you
and it
probably
being early
did.
access, it's Valheim's kind of the same way. It's such a drip feed.
Yeah.
Going to be a year before we get a small amount of new content. I'm waiting for launch at this point.
Yeah, same here. And there's no like after playing it, I can tell you that there's no giant reasons why, other than that the content update they're coming out with sounds interesting. The Gloom, whatever it's called, not Gloomhaven, Gloom something,
Gloom,
Void
gloom.
or something, whatever it is. That thing seems neat. So I have a lot of high hopes for where it's heading and all of that stuff. But yeah, that game's great. If you like survival and you like vampires, I think they're kind of
If
making
you like zombies too, you could play it.
yeah, I think they're kind of
Yeah.
making the perfect hybrid of that. And I already liked it. I like it even more now. So anyway, playing a little V Rising.
Great game.
Had to play it before I left, and there was not much else time, so I just got out of here and left before I finished it much. Anyway, then while on the road, one of the folks that was at our event, and I can't find her name, crap, she reminded me that Monster Train, which I mentioned earlier in the show, was on mobile, and I'd forgotten that they did a mobile version of the game. And it's a premium title. You pay $8 for it. It's just there. No ads, no.
So it's a real mobile game.
It's a real game.
Like a real game on mobile.
A real game on mobile. And it is in every way Monster Train on desktop or console or anywhere else you can find it. And, pretty well suited to a mobile platform, given that, cards and those sorts of games are very drag, drop, finger kind of games. You can do them it's, they work well. That wasn't a very good explanation.
Drag, drop, and finger.
It's my favorite genre of mobile game.
I am, today's title is probably
I was just going up to the title. Drag, drop, and finger is a real good title.
I think that's pretty solid. Anyway, turns out that's a very good port, and it's $8, which is less than the full version of the game elsewhere. Or I shouldn't say full, but the same game in other places. And if you're on iOS and you're an iPhone user, it is cross save and all that. Uses iCloud for save, so I can go back and forth if I want a bigger screen. Anyway, it plays really well, and I got really hooked on pulling that up and just doing a little run. And it it saves between the actual combat, so you can go do other stuff, and all your progress is just always there of the current run. You don't have to start over or lose your progress. This is true of most of these games, I guess. But Monster Train, for real, I think is one of the best there has ever been for these card battlers. I love them, or love it.
It's a nice milieu. Interesting,
Yeah.
take. Good art, good mechanics.
I get a lot of shit for people saying that the game is basically tower defense. And I have been on the record of saying how much I hate tower defense. I do not agree that it's tower defense at all. I'm using cards and techniques that maybe you could say, well, you're defending your dudes.
Well, it is multiple floors, so there's a tower for sure.
Kind of.
It's on a train, but they enter in the bottom, and they got to get to the top of the tower and kill the heart. So
and
there's
the heart fires at them, but that's not the kind of tower you usually mean when you say tower defense. You're usually talking about
you place your units, and they defend the monsters coming up the tower. Yeah.
But they act like cards.
I mean, look, here's the thing. This is why you should never label yourself as staunchly 100%
No, but
anything,
still,
because genres blend, and sometimes there might be exceptions.
Well, that's what I'm going to say is I think the genre has a specific meaning, and people are just being cute when they say, like, yeah, it's tower defense. Because you're right, there's a tower, you're defending it, but tower defense means that graphical entities, units, move along a path, and then other units you place kill the things that move along the path. Like, it means a specific
Thank you for saying
paradigm.
That. Yes.
And, yes, this is a tower. This is tower defense. There's a tower that you're defending, but it is not the tower defense genre, the term of art that you're referring to.
Yeah, not even close.
I got your back, buddy.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the clarification, because a lot of people ask me, then what do you mean then? And I don't know how to really say it. I guess I do mean the kind where there's a path and towers, and you upgrade those towers.
These terms, they're so... it's like there's assholes that work at Netflix that put Spider-Man in the science fiction section. You're trying to shop for a movie, give me a sci-fi movie. There's Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. It's not sci-fi assholes at Netflix who make those decisions. Learn to do your job properly so I can find movies conveniently.
Yeah, you bud nuggets.
It's fun. All kinds of problems in the world. And what burns my ass is people categorizing shit bad on their streaming services.
That's right.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah. Screw those.
Not science fiction, but it's just made up terms, and so you can play that game with tower defense. But we all know what Scott means.
Yeah, we know what we mean. What I mean. Yeah. So quit trying to convince me. But here's the thing: this game's great. I love Monster Train, and if you've never played it, never been a better time to find this. Sometimes on sale, or just get it. Just get it. It's so good. And with them having a whole new game come out, which sounds amazing in its own right, freaking support these guys. Have a great game while you're doing it. I just love it. And also what I like about it, all the momentum of the game is a positive momentum. I don't like games where they're like, yeah, you found a guy in the woods, and he says, if you steal this pebble, something will happen. Will it be good or bad? And then your options are steal the pebble or don't and walk away. I don't want to gamble. Tell me what I'm going to get. This game tells you what happens. If you take the pebble, you'll take 5 damage, but you'll have these 3 cards added to your deck. If you don't take the pebble, you'll heal because this place has a healing effect, and you'll just walk out of here healed. Like everything has. There are things that are you're giving maybe something up for something else, but it's very clear about it. I know when I'm choosing what I'm choosing and why I'm choosing it. I just really appreciate its aesthetic that way. It's very.
That's probably a whole seminar at GDC someone could give about when surprises are good for players and when they're not.
Yeah.
You know, because you want to think like, how do you know what the result's going to be? It could be anything, but really, if you're playing the game over and over again,
yeah.
I have a hard
It's
time.
a memory test, not a
Like-
surprise. It's just I forget what option A does. Shit. So,
Yeah.
When
Totally.
it's hidden from me, it's definitely worse. Even seeing it can be hard. Like, we talked about the game Brotato. Scott really likes Brotato.
I do like Brotato.
But I don't like Brotato because I have found Brotato of most of those games is one
I'm
of the
pretending
ones
you're
that's
talking
big
about
on-
food and not games, by
is
the way.
big on the here's a negative to go with your positive. Like it likes to do the trade-off a little heavier than I like.
Mhm.
It felt,
Yeah.
and I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I feel like it should be a steady power climb.
Benefits
not-
only for John. No
Yeah.
no balance.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
balance.
as soon as someone's like, okay, but here's the, I'm like, you lost me at the butt.
It's
Give me
true,
the
though,
thing
too.
that's a
I'm-
straight positive.
Yeah.
I'm going to support you a bit on that. I sometimes hate the whole like do 20% more damage, but take 10% more
Yeah, I
time
don't
to
like that.
attack. And I'm like, why?
Not
Your
my
game's
favorite.
not that good. Well,
Your-
just
your
give me the
game's not
power.
that good. Yeah. Your game's not that
You
good.
know.
Don't try to be fancy with us.
I mean, better games just give me bonuses. Like StarCraft, it's an esport played internationally. There isn't many circumstances where the game's just straight up telling me you can do this, but at this, deficit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when you get an upgrade for your zealots and they can charge. It's not like charge, but sometimes they trip on rocks. It's like you just get the charge.
That's because they hide the negative. The negative in StarCraft is that by building into something, you're not building into something else.
Oh.
Like you
Sure.
don't see
Yeah,
that as
that's-
a big red icon.
Yeah.
Yes,
that-
but that's fine. But we're talking strictly about the upgrade. Because
Yeah, no, I 100%
strictly,
agree with
like,
you. I think.
get 2 of this, but lose 1 of that. Like, no, take that out of your games.
Yeah, I don't like it. This game's very good at that. And you always know what you're getting. And I love that feeling. And it doesn't feel obtuse or, I don't know. There's something about it. It's an excellent game. If you haven't played it, do play it. Next up, I thought that was going to be it for the week because I was out of town and busy. But I did manage to get a 2-hour stream in today.
I saw you streaming on YouTube, which I can access from my place of work.
Damn
unlike
straight you
Twitch.
can. Not only that,
I didn't chat, but I was in there watching you play, and I could easily scroll back in your stream to watch cool parts.
That's
I
right.
missed, and I got
DVR capability now in there. Low latency on the chat, which is great. People can now sub to the channel just like they could over at Twitch. That's all functioning now. So yeah, I'm kind of having I'm having a hard time finding reasons not to be over here. It's been pretty good so far. But anyway, yeah, I streamed some of that today, and Redhead Jedi Survivor, or sorry, I didn't
Here
mean
we
to
go
say-
again.
I didn't actually
Oh,
mean to
shit.
say that. Sorry, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is the follow-up to Star Wars Jedi. I forgot it.
Fallen Order.
Fallen
It's
Order.
on
Thank
our-
you.
Just look down in what I played, and you can see.
Oh yeah, it's right there. Duh. This is the brand. This came out today. This is a brand new game. Maybe a little early for some people, but I got it. We were lucky enough. We have a friend at EA who listens to the show and got us codes. So huge thanks to him.
Yeah,
once
shout
again.
out to that baller.
He's awesome.
keeping us
But
decked out
there
with
was some
the
talk
latest
that the PC version was like full on busted for a lot of people. The Steam reviews right now are in the mostly negative. It's one of these Steam review bomb days where because people have some tech issues, they think the world's ending, so they just load the site up with horrible reviews. Whereas actual reviews out there, and especially on the console versions, are all getting like 9s and 10s. This thing is doing extremely well critically. Dan Stapleton at IGN went as far to say is if the third game in this series, if they do one, is as good as this or better, this will make the best Star Wars trilogy of all time. And I think I kind of agree based on the 2 hours I played. I didn't get super deep. Obviously, it's only 2 hours. But it already feels like what I want out of a sequel. In the first game, you unlocked a bunch of abilities. This isn't like a Metroid game. I thought it would be where you'd go in and maybe you'd have them for a minute, but then lose them. I got amnesia. My hand hurts, or whatever the thing is that makes you lose your shit, and then you got to go find it all again and unlock it all. I kind of hate that in games. This, I don't hate it, but it's just the way they all do it, and I kind of hope for more. This does not do that. You come into this game with most, if not all, your abilities and tweaks that you had prior. And I don't mean it's carrying over from the previous game. I mean, literally, your character remembered everything. And they introduced new stuff instead on top of it. So it feels like almost a continuation in a way. And I'm not even saying you have to play the first one to play this one. It's nice when a game says, you worked hard to unlock all that. Guess what? It's there. You have it. And now you have more.
You do.
Well, you
go do your homework.
That's
people.
you, though.
Don't be a jump ahead person.
Yeah, don't be a puss, is what you'd say.
Yeah, exactly, Scott. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, you meant to say.
Don't be a puss.
Yeah, don't be a puss.
Go play the first game, then play the second.
Yeah,
game.
You big puss. But anyway, it is very cinematic. It supports ray tracing, which looks beautiful. This time around, it is a very easy to pick up and just start going. The combat is extremely satisfying and violent. Lots of decapitations and dismemberments going on of various Imperial types. From your average, I almost called him a snowblower. What is wrong with me? Your average stormtrooper.
What?
I almost called him a snowblower. I don't know why.
Yeah,
That was
weird they didn't go with that name. It didn't carry the same weight when people were like, oh no, Imperial snowblowers.
Yeah. I mean, if you're on Hoth, you gotta clear snow. It's a thing. But anyway, only 2 hours in, can't say much, but I will say this. I had none of the PC issues people were talking about. So what that tells me, this happened with Batman Arkham Knight on PC, where everyone was like, it's broken on PC. And then I played it and it was like not broken at all. Like it played great and had no problems. So I'm having that experience again, and I feel a little bad because I don't know what I did that's different. I'm running a 3090. I'm running, it's good hardware, but people on those reviews are claiming 4090s and 4080s and the best possible scenario with CPU and RAM and all this other stuff, and they're all having issues. So I don't want to diminish that. If they're having problems, they're having problems. But I didn't see any of that. I had maybe a couple of drops in frame rate, but it wasn't massive, and it was very brief, and it was, usually some crazy scene. And I thought for some of that might be ray tracing, because that's often the culprit. But anyway, it's very cool so far. Lots of traversal, lots of Souls-like elements. Not as hard, especially if you don't want it to be.
Did you try out all the stances yet?
I have 3 so far. I have dual wield. I have the one where it's one staff, the Darth Maul method, and then I have the single blade. I think I like dual wield, but I think I would like that on paper even.
Dude, this is a big game. It's 129 gig download.
Yeah, it's huge.
Huge.
Holy
yeah. And apparently also huge in the game. There's lots of like open worldy stuff, but not in the kind you hate, Bo.
Yeah. It's more. I was in Dan Stapleton's review. I was noticing you saying there's lots of stuff, but it's still not an open world,
right?
So.
Which I think people have balked at it trying to go that route. Even though I kind of like those games, but
the first game was kind of like that too. There was a lot of you can go back to the planets. There's stuff to discover. It's kind of a set environment, but there are things you can explore and do and go off the beaten path. And
it's making me think like what Arkham City was to Arkham Asylum.
There you go. Yeah, I think you said that in the review too. Yes, that's a great way of putting it. It's just a little broader, a little bigger. Don't let that freak you out, John, because I know how you feel about those 2 games.
Yeah, I mean that ruined the Arkham games, but I think I'll like it here.
City's pretty good though. Arkham City's pretty good. I like them all. To the end of the day, but
the difference is that like Arkham Asylum was meant to be a small scale thing. The first Jedi Fallen Order was meant to be kind of big anyway, but it's now expanding even further. So
totally,
I don't think it's 1-to-1. So
yeah, I agree.
I'm excited for it. I'm really excited to get to play it. It's the only thing chat has been talking about, so I feel like it's worth having the talk. I think that completely review bombing a game is not necessarily an accurate reflection of the game's quality, although user reviews, I kind of feel like that's what it's for. But I also don't feel like games should get a pass for releasing broken.
Yeah, if they're busted,
so-
regardless of like total and number of people affected.
Because
I
I'm in a
agree.
similar boat where Arkham Knight played great for me, and it was kind of a weird guilt thing where it was like hearing nothing but people complain about it nonstop while I was experiencing none of the issues. I don't know where I'm going to be when I play the game. More on that later. They're going to have some time to fix it before I get to it, but I'm really excited for it. But I don't think anybody should get a pass for releasing a broken game. I will say, however, I think the first one of these also released in a rough
Yeah, a
state.
little rough
If
in
I
the
remember correctly, we were in the same boat with the original. So,
yeah, PC version was a little rough in both cases. People just easily forget.
I think I think we'll get there. But hey, going off of what Scott said, I said, don't be a puss. Play the first one, and maybe the second one will be working great by the time you get to it.
Yeah, don't be such a puss. Quit being a
Yeah.
puss and get in there. My brother used to call me a puss all the time when I was growing up. Always. Like, hey, get up, puss. We're going. Hey, puss. He's always doing that.
Yeah.
Drove me nuts. Anyway,
Did
whatever.
you think you were a small cat voiced by Antonio Banderas?
No boots. None of that. It was just, he was just kind of a dick. All right, moving on. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So I'm looking forward to doing that more. I'll probably stream through the rest of it as I play it because why not? And like I said, I'm not really having issues, so happy to have it here. I'm not ready to fire this up on Steam Deck. I'm guessing there's issues there because there always are with these huge games on those days, and sometimes they iron that out. But I haven't really tried. The only other thing I would say is I was really hoping EA was going to do from now on what they did with the remake of Dead Space and just make it a native Steam game / Epic Store, wherever you buy it, just make it native to the platform you're playing it on. Nope, this one makes you launch the stupid effing launcher, the stupid EA launcher, which I hate. It's fine once you're past it. You're past it. It's like Uplay or Ubisoft's thing, whatever theirs is called now, Ubisoft Connect. It's one of those though, and I just don't know why. Why? You don't need. It doesn't endear me. It doesn't make me go, ooh, I want to come over here now. It doesn't make me want to do any of those things. I don't understand the initiative with these companies. And maybe it's just that they just want to get a piece of the Steam world. And
people who don't play games are making these decisions.
I guess.
Nobody who plays video games and just wants to have a good time is making the decision to put their launcher automatically launching.
I worry too. Some of this is
that is a business decision.
I would love to hear if this is true or not, but something I couldn't help but think of it, that when Dead Space succeeded, the remake succeeded so wildly, somebody there went, "Oh shit, we should have put this on our launcher because look at all the eyeballs we would have had on our launcher. You know what? Hurry and get it in that Jedi Survivor Redhead guide game. Get it going."
Because I recently reinstalled Jedi Fallen Order, and that happened to me.
Yeah,
it's a Jedi. It's a Star Wars thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
like,
I mean,
they're like really nobody important's playing Dead Space, but everyone's playing Jedi Star Wars games.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess what I'm saying is, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Dead Space outsells it. I think they just thought, it's a remake.
But again, we're thinking about what the executive thinks. Dead Space, yeah, okay, game for nerds. Star Wars, so everyone watches Star Wars, nerds and mom and the kids.
That's exactly right. I think
gotta
that's
get
what
them in
happened.
our ecosystem. Get them in the environment.
I hate
Words
that.
like that.
I hate that. You know what I hate? Words like that. I hate them.
What, ecosystem?
Yeah, like get them into our ecosystem. Shut up. Just make me a game I want to play. If your ecosystem's good, I'll get into it naturally. You don't have to force it down my butthole. Up my butthole, not down.
Well,
there's,
depends.
There's a lot of traffic in the butthole. Who's to say which direction anything should or should not go?
Well, the good news is that this is, once you get past that dumb thing, and on consoles, it's not an issue. You're just going to play it. And the console version's apparently way more optimized, good to go, rocking, running their 60 frames plus, looking great, no issues that I've heard. Both PlayStation and Xbox Series S and X have been running great. So I don't think those people have anything to worry about. But PC folks, you may have to do some tweaking to get to where we want to be. And they've acknowledged it. They said, yeah, we're not happy with the way it's running for everyone, so expect some updates. So far, so good. Go make sure you update your drivers. I did that first thing. That seemed to probably help.
I had no new drivers to update.
Well, Well, that's because you're always. Well, I was gone all week, so I may have missed it.
I don't think I have an option for that.
Yeah, maybe not. Well, you do. You have an NVIDIA. You have the control panel thing, right?
I do, but my last update was on the 18th, 10 days ago. Maybe that's the one.
That's probably the one. Plus, I skipped one because they screwed up the Ubisoft game I was playing. My brain just went dead. The Zelda-like Phoenix. Immortals Rising Phoenix. Phoenix Rising Immortals. Immortals Phoenix Rising. There it is. Those drivers made the game break, so I rolled back and then sat there, and so I guess I'm just catching up. Anyway, it's great so far. 2 hours in, I'll play more. It's a big release. Excited for that game. Redhead Jedi Survivor out now. John, you may.
Hello.
Oh, hold on. Before I do that, let me do this. There we go. John, you played a similar game.
I did.
Yeah. Why? What was your thinking
some
here?
Might say, some might call it the prequel to the game you played.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order because I wanted to. because I'm a little bit. I have played it. I have beaten it, but I kind of wanted to go in familiar with it. I didn't know if they were going to do like a power reset. Sounds like they didn't, which is cool. But that makes me even more like I want to spend some time with real Cal and actually play the original game and go through it and get a refresher. It's been a while since that game came out. So
it's been some time.
I wanted to go back through it. I was playing on Jedi Master, but now the new game is out. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just
Jedi Master is quite hard.
Play through on easy, so I can get through quickly and get to the new game.
I mean, Jedi Master is basically the Dark Souls mode of the game.
Yes.
So if you want that difficulty, I think it's very cool it's in there, but I really like that you can scale it. I think that's awesome that they didn't make
I think it's satisfying. I will say that, like, the Jedi power fantasy is not he gets killed by every rat he meets. So I don't think it's necessarily the canonical difficulty, but there is something to be said about the methodical way that you play these games when it's on that difficulty. I like it. But yeah, I think to get through it quickly, I'm going to set it on easy and just breeze through the thing.
Yeah.
But I am going to probably play through the entire game before I go to the new game. We'll see. Right now, that's what I'm telling myself I'm going to do. Hearing performance problems on the PC version, which is the version I got, makes it an easier decision to make that call. And we'll see. I'm excited about the new shiny, but I do want to go through the game.
I like that you're doing it just because this is a John ass thing to do. I like that you do this because I couldn't do it,
man. It's what I do. I either play through the original game or I spend a lot of time on YouTube or Wikipedia. Like, that's the way it goes.
I will say this. They have a really nice intro video on this thing that very well sums up the first game in a way that new players to the series you're not going to be left in the lurch. You'll kind of get where you're at, and it's done really nicely artistically. It's very cool. So hats off to that.
That's good. But
and they also do some shit. The first game had this too, but this game does a bunch of stuff where it feels like they really want to make Titanfall 3 because they're using Titanfall 2 stuff a lot. Like, just certain things work very Titanfall 2-ish. There's even a scene where he jumps up on top of a mech-like thing in Star Wars lore, whatever the mech is, and pulls a guy out of the front seat of it like you would in Titanfall. Like, it just feels very Titanfall-y. I'm not sure we ever get Titanfall again. I'm not saying that. I hope we do, but it just little bits of that in this Respawn game where you could feel the Titanfall dev, letting it out a little bit, which again, I'm all for. But anyway, it's a really cool game. Great. Okay, now. Oh my gosh. Do we have music for this? Hold on. I want to see if I have something good that's not copyright protected. Is this it? No, that's no.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
There you go. The BG. That sounds like.
Get it on.
How about this one? Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is it. So if it sounds a little like wrestlers entering a ring, well, that's because John played the living shit out of a well, didn't play it. You know what? I'm letting you just take it. Tell me what you did with WWE 2K23 because it's my favorite thing of 2023 so far that I've seen. Tell me what you're doing.
Yeah. So I just got this weird urge. I just remembered to my youth playing Nintendo 64 with my friends, spending way too much time creating wrestlers and having matches. And I had been seeing a lot of people and general buzz that the new WWE 2K23 was pretty good. And I thought, man, you know what? It'd be really fun to get in there, create a bunch of wrestlers, and just goof around with it. Like, that was the original idea. And then I started thinking, well, I could make like Bo, and I could make Scott, and we could have the core crew in there. We could be a whole team.
Yeah.
And then it turned into, well, we could make a whole bunch of Frog Pants people.
Yeah.
And then that turned into, well, we could do a whole wrestling league with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And we can make a ton of people and have them fight. And that's what I decided to do. So I started what's called Frog. It stands for Frog Pants Wrestling Organization. The acronym is in there, I assure you.
It's a little off center in terms of what an acronym is, but okay.
Yeah. And I decided to just put it all together, and I'm having so much fun just turning Frog Pants personalities into wrestlers, coming up with dumb entrances for them, coming up with outfits and personalities for them. Scott's showing gameplay right now. We got Randy Jordan and Brian Dunaway in there.
The Dunaway.
I like that Randy has the...
he's a chef.
Randy has the chef aspect. He's always talking about cooking.
Yeah. No, that's the other thing. One of the things I love about this is how you capture... Like, that is Dunaway to a damn T.
And you put the show logo on his shirt. Like, you can upload PNGs or JPEGs into the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Must be.
So you can put penises on there, right? Like,
yeah, you could.
I mean,
put
you
penises.
probably could. I haven't tried, but I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to do a different type of wrestling organization, you could, do that. Yeah.
I think
Ancient
I look
Greek
a little
wrestling
weird, but I love it. I love
So
how I
the thing
look.
about you, Scott, is that you were the first character I created.
Yeah.
You were the experiment. And I've learned a
Morning
lot
stream
since you.
Oh yeah, are you gonna go back and do another pass on me or no?
There
You
might
leave
be
it?
another pass.
You
but
and Brian would be the goofy. Like, if you and Brian actually went wrestling, it would be so goofy, man. This is what I imagined it would look like.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that, like, the reception to you has been very, like, people love it. So I am a little afraid to touch it too much because people are like, that looks just like Scott. It's so good. He would wrestle in jorts.
Yeah, I would.
Except I think he's wearing sandals these days, according to his Twitter.
Yeah, I'm all about comfy shoes now. That's a new thing for me.
I will also say that, like, in general, I haven't done any face molding to try and make things look like people. Like, these are generic faces that I've just kind of done basic work on.
Oh my god.
The Bo and John Core intro is possibly my favorite thing.
I know being humble is important or something, but my character's the best. Like I like my own character the best out of anything.
No. So... Let's be honest. It is the mascot thing of this whole thing, as far as I'm concerned.
I've got my D&D cape. I'm wearing, of course, like the jobber outfit, right? Like one strap, like it's basically a one piece, but with one strap. Yeah. And I've got a VR headset. The pièce de résistance is the VR headset strapped to my face that says, "John, this was an inspired thing you made." Like,
well, let me understand.
I can't believe I came out this. I look so good in this game. I'm thinking I should actually call the WWE and become like this was the real. I could be the VR wrestler. I'll kick your ass in 3D or something like that.
I really like Kyle's as well. I think Garrett's is pretty great.
Kyle and Garrett's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. I think you're the best though. And here's the thing.
I'm the most memey of myself, but Kyle's is the best in terms of, like, he likes wizards and Conan the Barbarian. Like, it's just it screams Kyle.
It's perfect, sure. Kyle. But that's what I wanted to get to. Your intro
looks like a warlock wrestler,
right? Where you walk out with John it's 100% you guys. Like, John's walking.
John would walk out. I would walk,
and he's not doing any flair. He's just walking, and he's wearing Resident Evil Leon S. Kennedy clothes, which is hilarious. Anyway,
it's also super funny.
But he's walking down this thing, just strutting like, I'm just here to get this done. Let's get this done. Let's go. Very John-like.
I got this idiot near me. Just don't.
Yeah, Bo's just like, wow, just like a total wackadoo. It is great. And then, so John, explain this. It's all Battle Royale AI here. No one's playing this, right?
Yeah, so I haven't played the game at all. I can't tell you if WWE 2K23 is a good wrestling game to play. I can tell you it's a great creation suite for making wrestlers. In general, I enjoy the hell out of it. But I can't tell you if the game's good because I have not played it. I've just watched the AI have matches and just let the game go at it, and that is all that I have done.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it has been a super fun experience. I am going to go ahead and do a little plug that this coming Wednesday, that's the day that we have set. We're going to do a tournament. I believe it's going to be to determine who is going to be the TMS tag team title holders.
Wow.
So currently,
Wow.
Scott and Brian Ibbett are our TMS champions, which, by the way, I think the belts look fantastic too.
They do
Haven't
look
talked
really
about
good.
It, but they're custom belts,
Yeah.
and they look great.
They
One
really
of the
look
most
good.
people you can have in a Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The Royal Rumble itself is like 50 people, but the game does limit how many people come out. I think
Yeah.
you can only have so many at a time. or
It
the
looks
game
like
starts
8
to
there,
fall
right?
apart.
It's 8
Yeah,
of them total,
8 is the highest you can do, where it's just like a base level. This is how many people are going to be in the ring.
Well, developers, I'm sure you could do better. Come on, let's get.
Yeah, let's get
patch it.
50 in there.
We need
Yeah.
16. We need 16 Frog Panthers in here.
We got these fancy new
I would
consoles.
love to have enough people to do a full Royal Rumble where we have people coming out at intervals and full Royal Rumble rules. We're working on it.
Yeah, we're
takes
working on
a
it.
long time. I mean, I'll say this, right now, I have 8 wrestlers created, multiple custom outfits on a few of them.
Oh,
some
shit.
belts,
John's getting in the
entrances,
face.
all
Kyle's
that.
smacking John in the face so bad, so savagely. It zoomed in for him. Oh,
Yeah. he
who's
got his-
Mario? Is that Dunaway?
That's Dunaway. as
So
Mario, yeah.
Oh my
there was
God.
an idea with Dunaway, which was that he would come to the ring as himself, but with the power glove on, and then when he got his wrestling attire, the power glove would transform him into a character.
That's awesome.
And
you can
so
do all that? Oh my god.
he was gonna be Mario for a little bit. I ended up changing it, and now he's Mario adjacent. He becomes Super Dunaway
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
So his has changed a lot. This was very early in making him.
Yeah.
But anyway, for all
Have
that
you
I've
given
made
everyone a
here,
special move?
Sort of.
Can you give Scott the I don't know, nuclear raspberry or something? Like,
Scott does have a custom finisher that I picked for him. It's an airplane spin. He puts someone over the top of his head,
Yeah.
and he spins in a circle and then slams them down, which just seemed like a very Scott thing to do.
Yeah.
Can you
I
name
gave
it? Like,
you the mandible claw,
I don't know what that
where
is.
you. So the idea was, I gave you there was a wrestler called Mankind, and he used to
I know
do.
Mankind.
He used to do this move where he would reach down the front of his pants and pull out a sock that he had stuffed down his shorts.
Oh yeah,
and
I
he'd
kinda
put it on
remember
his hand
something
and
like
then
that.
shove it in the mouth of his opponent.
Yeah,
And that was his
yeah.
finisher. I gave that to
remember this
you.
now.
You do the full animation, but it doesn't pull a sock out, so it just looks like you scratch your dick and then stick your hand down.
Oh,
somebody's throat.
I'm scraping off some smegma.
Yeah,
I'm collecting
and-
some smegma to put in that mouth.
And
I'm
so
sexually
that is,
assaulting people. Thanks, John. That's great.
Yeah.
That is what we do. That's what you do.
Wow.
Yeah, Kyle's just beating the crap out of me.
Kyle,
I'm
really,
pretty
he's
for
got
sure.
your number in this. He's mostly been pounding on you this entire time. But there was a point where you climbed a ladder. Dunaway was just standing up on this ladder. You climbed up and just punched repeatedly his crotch over and over and over and over.
Yeah, I mean that's what you got. That's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do.
Um,
Yeah.
Wait, do I have
So-
a Canadian flag on my butt too?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just noticed that.
That's amazing. It's freaking amazing. I love it so much. I
Yeah,
don't even know how to
you
say
have
it.
like this is like artistry. Like you have created something that the world didn't have,
Yeah.
and now we have it, and we all want more of it, and I'm enthralled by it. Listening to you talk, but I'm like, wow, this match is compelling.
You make me want to go spend $69 on a game I never cared about. That's what you've done.
Yeah, maybe
Well,
don't.
you
Are
know.
you gonna do as what John did, or are we? Are you
Well,
gonna
that's
play
the
together?
problem.
Like,
All
you're not
it
even
is
gonna
is
play this. You're just
yeah,
buying it.
exactly. It's just a feeling of like, this is so cool, I must have it. And then once I get it, I'm like, well, what am I even? Why? Why did I get this? That's what'll happen. Because it'd be
Yeah.
fun to make, guys. But you've already done it. This is it. This is what we want. And this should happen on. This should be a regular ass thing. John should have to buy the every year update to this game.
Well, new show on the network, Scott. Like,
Yeah.
we can have TMS Mania.
Yeah, we should. I literally mean this when I say this. We need to make this like a big deal.
And you guys can like I don't know, whoever the hosts are can be the three guys that yell, "Oh, from the top rope!"
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
I'm not
I'll
really great
say,
at it, you know.
like the engagement has been high. I'll tell you who's Bo was very excited when I reached out to him. Randy was like, "Can I record the audio for
Yeah,
you?"
no,
Like he wants to. That's
That's typical Randy. I should have warned you.
It.
If you ever want Randy to help you with a thing, he'll not only do it, but he'll offer to do 400 other things.
He's like, "I want catchphrases. I want this." I'm like, we're building to it. We'll see what we do.
We're starting small. Work your way up. It'll be fine.
That's the same deal because a lot of people are like, "Oh, you need to get Jury in here." Scott, you said we need to get Tom Merritt in here. Like, there's a lot to build. We need to get a women's division going because the game does not allow for mixed gender fighting.
What?
It does to a degree. You can do what's called a mixed tag match, but it has stupid rules where it's like, if the girl tags in, then the other girl has to come in. Like, so there's stuff like that. So I do want to get like Kristen's an obvious choice. I wanted to get our There Will Be Dungeons characters.
She actually could win a wrestling match.
Yeah, she would win.
Yeah, she probably would
any of the
actually
boys
be the one
here,
to
she would
beat
beat.
us.
Yeah, I would be afraid of her. Also, Nicole Spag could be pretty dangerous. I think Veronica would ruin you. She'd ruin us.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
lord.
and like
fighting?
Destroyer of Worlds, I
She's
think
scary.
is actually a team name.
Oh no
So
way! Yeah, see, that's
I
perfect
was
for
like,
her.
that would be great.
Yeah.
Trying to get the game to say some of your names has been fun. Because obviously some names exist in the game and some don't. Scott Johnson, they can say no problem.
Yeah.
Bo, they do not have Bo. They don't have. I don't think they have Schwartz. To be fair, I got.
Can you upload Liam O'Brien saying Bo Schwartz?
You got.
So right now, when Bo comes out, the game says now coming to the ring, Bush Barber Bocamp is what it says.
I don't want it any other way. That's amazing.
Bush Barber Bocamp.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. Look, you change your. Tom Cruise is not Tom Cruise. He's like Bartholomew Butt Snuggie or whatever.
They didn't have VR guy was taken.
Yeah, I don't think they have the word VR as the problem, right? Because these are all just preset names.
Well,
and then
there's a VR headset in the game, but no,
Oh, is it an actual VR headset? Or tell me how the tools work. That is
how
interesting.
did the VR how did you get a headset in there?
Yeah.
Was that
It's a
custom?
VR headset is just literally a thing you can
Right.
put
So
on
they
the
have
creator
a
roster.
VR headset, but they don't have what are you going to name a guy who wears a VR headset? Bush Blacker Beauchamp? Like
Bush Barber Bocamp.
yeah. Like there's got to be a VR voice line in there to complement the item. It seems strange.
Amazing.
Yeah. The combinations that I've tried to get, like they don't have Jagger, so I have to come to the ring as John J. Carr.
J. Carr.
And
okay.
It's close
J.
enough.
Carr.
It sounds roughly right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a weird mix, but for everything I've built so far, I have spent 32 hours in the game.
Wow. That's like half of my War Tales time. That's a lot of hours.
So it takes a while. So I'm enjoying ramping it up. And like I said, this Wednesday we're gonna try and do something official with it. Determine who the true tag team champions are. We got 4 full teams. We got Scott and Brian on Team TMS. We got Bo and myself on Team Core. Garrett and Kyle on Team Grinding Gear.
By the
and
way,
we've got Randy and Dunaway repping Team Film Sack. So
the hairstyle, they really nailed the Garrett.
Oh yeah, big time.
Garrett, my hair's like goes straight down, but his it looks more like a fern.
Well, he's got that youth. He's got youth.
Like a chia pit. No, but even when I was younger, like my hair's like straw. It's just straight down, but he's got a nice.
Yeah.
got a
Either
mane.
he's using hairspray. He might be using hair product, but I don't think so. I think his hair's naturally thick.
I'm a little worried about Kyle and Randy. They look like this is for a different genre. But anyway, hey, I was going to say this though. John found somehow in 2023
There's
inadvertently
something about a man in a chef's apron and nothing else.
Well, that's pretty weird. But you found the auto battler that I want. And when I say that,
this is auto chess, guys.
it is. It's auto chess, but I care. Like this is really something. I absolutely
Well,
love
and
it.
it just the AI driven thing, it tells stories, you build stories off of it, you build rivalries. It's going to be fun to see where it goes. One of the things I have an idea for is because Scott, obviously you could be on almost all of these teams to a degree. Uh, one of the big things that I thought of having a tournament for was which team does Scott join? Which faction does Scott join?
Right.
And have a big tournament to see who wins adding him to the roster, because I actually made Scott pretty powerful in the game.
Yeah.
I made him a powerhouse. I gave him a
Scott'd be
real
the
strong
biggest heel.
moveset.
He'd be the biggest heel in the wrestling federation because he'd feel bad for beating and then switch teams and
Switch teams. On teams
I don't
started.
know what it says about the Frog Pants hosts.
Yeah.
I asked everybody that I talked to, because I got permission to use everybody, put them all in this game and everything. Almost universally, everybody asked to be a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Bo was the only person that said he was happy being a bad guy, and I made myself a bad guy because I was like, nobody else wants to be one.
Yeah.
Really?
And I told Garrett
Really?
and Kyle that I was gonna make them boo because they're grinding gear and they're a different thing. They're
Yeah,
adjacent.
yeah.
So, but everybody wanted to be good guys. So,
Well, I guess
that's
that must
been-
mean we're the only good guys because we're playing our fantasies, which is like, let's be bad because we're never bad. Everyone's like, well, I better be good. What's it like to be good?
Yeah. Yeah. Every once in a while, my character will grab his back, and that's so accurate. Oh, look at the morning stream one. We just won. You guys won't see this for a second because
What? Oh, you won?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. Scott and Brian won this big.
Of course you won.
Oh, look at me. Look at this. Look how gray. Good Lord. That's true, though. There's me and Brian have never looked like these two chuckleheads, except these faces are eerily correct. It's so weird.
I did say I was going to make everybody ripped. There was going to be no body shaming, which is mostly for me because I think I'm probably in the worst shape of everybody. I'm already shorter than everybody. This made me acutely aware of how short I am compared to everyone I know and am friends with.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why we need to get Kristen and Jury in here, because I can finally be taller than someone.
Yeah, the
in
rest
this
of the
league.
short-
Well, I gotta say, for us olds with the white hair, you could have done a little fantasy for us and made the hair less white. That was the only thing where I'm like, oh man.
Yours
I was
is
watching
perfect,
videos
though.
of myself streaming 10 years ago. My beard is brown as a horse's pelt.
Yeah, you're done now.
And now I'm like, I feel like I look 60. I'm just like, why is it so white on my face?
Yeah, now it's as white as a horse's.
Well,
puss.
the tool you
White.
needed to do the streaks for you, Bo, was a little wily, and we
Yeah,
just
no, the
kinda
streaks are
ran
unique,
with it,
and I like them. I'm okay with
Yeah.
the streaks; those are great. But the beard, my beard has just whitened in the past few years. Like I
Yeah.
9 years ago, it was pure brown, and now it's ugh.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sorry to say, Scott, the same thing happened with you. I think I put you in. I think I gave you like
Oh, Scott
brown
too. Scott, you
hair,
made him like
and then I
freaking
saw a
Santa
picture
Claus,
of
like
Scott, and I
white as
was
the
like,
night. I'm like,
it ain't brown.
Yeah, you
It's
gave me
not.
like it was like Santa Claus, a college Santa Claus is what it is. It's like Santa
Yeah.
Claus before he was Santa Claus.
We'll probably do a little tweaking. You're not quite that. I
Actually-
didn't know how to mix colors at the time, which obviously, Randy has that. It shows very clearly for him.
I actually
that
have a
mix,
question for
so I
you
didn't know
guys.
how to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not wrestling related, so I'm sorry to hijack a little bit of your section there, but I do have a question now that we're talking about it. It's mainly for Scott because he might have more experience with this and not you, unless you're doing it already. But I've told a few people I was thinking about this, and they're like, "No, absolutely do not do that." And I'm like, "Oh, really?"
What?
But I've been thinking about dyeing my beard.
Oh, yeah.
Like using actual hair color. Because I'm like, I don't. It's too white. Like even just for the show, I'm like, I need to like at least for a few years. Maybe when I hit 50. All right, let's do the white. But has anyone ever dyed their
So
beard?
I did
hair?
once. I dyed it purple. It was a bet I had with my daughter, and
Well,
I lost.
purple.
Yeah,
Okay.
I lost the bet, so I did it purple. But I've never done it. Oh no, that's not true. A couple years ago, we
Natural hair
experimented to
color.
do a natural color, and it was just weird. You could tell I was doing
You
it.
can tell
Yeah.
you're not fooling anybody. Oh man, I want to believe.
Yeah.
Oh well, all right.
I think
so
it
you don't
looks
recommend.
good white, Bo. It matches the streaks on the side. I think it frames you. It gives you a unique look. I like it.
I like it
know,
too.
I'm just hitting that point where
Yeah.
the 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds look at me with pity in their eyes now. I'm like, old guy. And I'm just
but you're a cool old guy, and I think I'm a cool old guy.
Yeah,
John will become a cool old guy. Like I struggle with this. This is not new for me. I remember 6-7 years ago when the first grays started to appear. That was more than that even. But anyway, when they started to appear, I remember thinking, oh shit, no, got to fight this with all I have. Like I just thought I thought I could counter it. But now, I don't know. I'm kind of embracing it. Got less shits to give. Plus, it's just normal. Like, it's normal. And we live in such a culture where everybody wants to, like, stop normal from happening and stay 25 the rest of their lives. But then you look weird. You look like Jeff Bezos at a nightclub with a girl who's half his age. Like, I don't want that. So,
I know. I just...
So
I
be
don't
you.
know.
Just
I
be you.
wish there was other color options for old than white, you know? Like,
I mean, it wouldn't be that unusual. There's plenty of, like, who was I watching the other day? Some actor who everyone loves. Oh, John Wick. Keanu Reeves. He colors his hair and his beard, and he lets some of the gray in, but he colors it, and he has really expensive colorists who do it. Everybody you know who's over 40 and working in that world, and you see them with their glorious, perfect dark hair and
it's all
perfect
dyed.
tips.
That's what I mean.
Dyed.
Like
all of it.
like most actors, they're playing 40, they're 60.
Yeah.
And,
a lot of times.
Or they're playing 30, they're 50. Or like, they're mostly playing ages younger than them, but they are.
But look at Clooney. That guy has kind of just let it go. And I respect him for it. And I think he looks great, but he's an incredibly handsome man.
At a certain point, I do that too, but I'm like, I want a couple years, like I don't know. It kind of threw me off because I didn't see it coming, and then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of white in my face now.
You know what? You're the Judi Dench of Canadians. Let me explain. Because that may sound really weird and out of left field, but I really like Judi Dench, the actress. Dame Judi Dench, man, she is just like, what a career, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's quite old now, and she has done so naturally. She doesn't have a bunch of work done. She's not got a bunch of pulls and a bunch of lip lifts and all this stuff. She just kind of grew old gracefully. And this is a weird thing to say because I don't mean it in the way people are going to tease me about, but I think she's attractive as a human given that fact that she's just really good at what she does. She does incredibly powerful, commanding performances. And when she gets interviewed on the side, I just love her personality. And I see someone who has lived well and has a great look even as she ages into her twilight years. And I want to find that somehow, I don't want to be that guy who's chasing youth at 60. Those people flip me out. They're weird. And by that, I don't mean like, I'll still be reading my comics and playing my video games and doing all the stuff I love. I don't think that's what that stuff should never change. But what I mean is like, the vanity stuff, we just expect too much of ourselves in that way. It's because all our examples are our version of royalty, especially here in America, are actors and famous people. And they're all working their asses off to look normal forever. And it isn't going to happen. Some of them are going to start looking real weird real quick. Some of them already do. And I don't want to be that guy. So you don't want to be that guy. We're going to grow old together. John will get gray, and when he does, he'll be just like a little wizard man.
We won't even be able to see him anymore.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it'll just be gone.
You'll just be like this creepy little dwarven wizard who's going to destroy everybody or something. I just love it. I love the direction. So my thing to you would be, do what you want though. Like if you want to go do some crazy color thing, you should do it. But if I
may try it. I did green in my hair, but it didn't work out too well. But I'm gonna dye my hair again real soon.
Yeah.
But that's that's for pleasure. That's not a youth thing. I just think the beard I don't know.
I gotcha. And if you shave it, if you're like me and I shave this, I look like a scone.
Yeah. Well, maybe if I lose a bit of weight, like I'm okay without a beard, just a little clit tickler, but like I'm okay without a beard.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Just a little clit tickler.
Okay. All right.
I used to rock a clit tickler, but now I don't.
Yeah.
And it's okay to say that.
That's fine. Clit. Hey, look, whatever,
For some of us, it's a penis tickler, I guess. I don't know. Whatever suits your fancy. But like, it's, if you just like to tickle those instead of...
No, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I know.
But, but like, I want to lose a little weight. I'm a little vain, guys. Like, I admit, but
you don't strike me as vain at all, though.
We got Nerdtacular next year, which hasn't been announced, but I just sort of am assuming because of all the teasing Scott does. in case there is one,
Yeah.
I want to be looking my best when we are up in those mountains. I need to be able to breathe because the mountain air is thin up there. So
There'll be some
let's
clits to
shift some
tickle.
pounds.
Yeah, you got to be ready for that.
I'm not. I don't think I can bring those on the plane with me.
Yeah. We may not be up there. I don't know. We're looking at, well, we don't know yet. We don't know what we're doing yet. This is not an official
There's nothing to
announcement.
announce or anything. I
No.
just saw your live stream and you were teasing people, and so I'm teasing people. And nothing's promised, nothing's committed. But if there was one, I'd like to have a glorious one.
That was fun, by the way, that live stream. I hope you enjoyed what we did there. It was good.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It's nice
Did you see the Fletcher stuff? The Fletcher stuff was insane. I lost it. Scott Fletcher. Oh, you got to get Scott Fletcher, John, in your WWE business.
Yeah.
That needs to happen. Because he's all over all of it, because I use his voice for everything. Like every show has some piece of Fletcher. Maybe not this one, I guess. But almost all of them. He would be, oh, you got to do Fletcher. You got to do it. All right. That brings us back to video
Merritt.
games.
You need the ace detective.
Yeah, you got to get, Fedora, 40s ass looking Tom Merritt. Holy shit.
I was gonna make him a cyborg because I'm a big fan of like gimmick wrestlers. Like I do like the era of like how do you make a wrestler think of a job or occupation and just build a persona around
Right,
it.
right.
Which is why Randy's a chef, because I just like themed wrestlers. Like make him a chef. So I was gonna make Tom Merritt a cyborg, but I do like a detective would also be really good.
Yeah.
A computer detective.
Yeah.
Can you make the ref? Is that possible?
I don't know if you can make the ref. Maybe.
Because Fletcher would be
You
a
can
great
make
ref.
managers. I got permission from Ben, even though he's not in the Frog Pants Network. But I reached out
and
to him.
you need.
I was thinking
you
of
need-
making Ben my manager.
That's a
He'd
great
come
idea.
down to the ring with me.
Nothing wrong with that. I think that'd be
You
great.
need Trek Nerd as well, but no shaky cams.
Yeah, no shaky cam, and
Shaky cam all the
even
time.
great Star Trek he'll hate. So you got to come up with a way to just show that. Amos in the chat says Fletcher would be a good announcer. I agree. You get him on the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like if that was they should let you do custom voice. I wish they did.
That would be really cool.
That
They
would
let
be-
you do. It's
that
funny
would be
though that you do images but not custom voice. I guess that's because people could upload like copyrighted VO or something.
You got to get Patrick Beja in there, but you can't give him a job gimmick. He's already French, so you know,
yeah, no, his
that's how
gimmick
Americans
would be
do it.
he's
You have a
French.
job
Like,
gimmick, but if you're
yes.
foreign, where you're from is your gimmick.
Yes, 100%.
Just make him refuse to give tips because they don't tip over there in France ever.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Tipping
definitely
culture.
heel then. We're going heel. With,
It turns out
But-
tipping culture is North America now. It's the only place that does it. No one else does tipping.
we tip here in Canada.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
North
it's
America.
North America. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, the North.
Really,
is
we're the only
America.
ones that tip.
Yeah,
We
I
don't tip
was
anywhere?
having this big conversation with all our foreign travelers
It's
for
insulting in Japan, right?
yeah,
In
and
Japan,
France
it's
too.
an
They
insult.
don't. France hates it. Iceland hates it. I'm trying to think of recent places where people are like, yeah, they just don't do it.
Well, listen, it's this is definitely an old man conversation, but tipping's a little out of control. I got to be honest with you.
Well, it's broken. I
Like,
think
the only
because-
people that should be tipped are the damn waiters because they're underpaid and bartenders.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
Like the rest of y'all are getting normal wages. What the fuck do you need a tip for?
no,
Like, you know.
I kind of agree. People need normal wages, so we don't have to tip them. But here's the other thing: tipping is weird now, where I'm in situations where I should be tipping electronically, but can't in that scenario. And then I'll be in
Yeah.
another scenario where I could do digital tipping, but I can only do cash in that scenario, and I don't have cash with me. Like it's not uniform anymore. It's weird. It's effed. It's effed. Tipping is effed.
I like
Yeah, and all these apps can just like habituate you to tip, right?
Yeah.
I went to
Like-
Papa Murphy's and they asked for they said, "Do you want a tip?" And I was like, "For what?" I had to come to the store. I have to cook the pizza when I get it home.
Yeah.
Like you're not cooking it here.
Yeah. Give $1
Like,
to yourself, John.
What part of the job is necessitating the tip? I drove here
Yeah.
to pick it up. You didn't even bring it to me, and I'm cooking it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. You paid for the item. That's the
You're
money
the
for
waiter.
the item.
You were the waiter.
Yeah. You were the
Yes.
waiter.
tip me, Papa Murphy. Actually, I don't want to be too harsh on Papa Murphy's. It's delicious. This
Papa-
is an endorsement. They
what?
did not pay me.
I thought
but
everyone
they
hated. Oh, that's
deserve it.
Papa John. Never mind. I don't like
Papa
that there are
John.
two
That's
pizza
the
places
Irish
with
beer.
Papa in there. It's annoying.
What is it? Papa Murphy's? What's
Papa
so is
Murphy's.
that you guys have weird pizza places where you just pick it up and
Yeah.
then
Take it home and cook it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
called Take and Bake.
Yeah.
See, we don't have those. I tell you what, we do have though, and I have it really close to the house. Is a pizza vending machine
Really?
that cooks the whole ass pizza for $15 in a box on the street.
Is it
It's not
good?
even in a restaurant. It's on the road. It's on the road, and you just go up to it and you give it your credit card, and it spits out a cooked pizza in a pizza box.
Is it good though? Is it garbage? What's it
I
like?
haven't. It's actually okay. Like it's not amazing, but it's actually like nicely baked bread. It tastes. It's actually decent.
Okay,
But it's still funny that it's in a box on the side of the road.
I agree.
Anyways,
I've never
yeah.
done that. I would like to do that once. I'd do that once to experience it. But
Yeah, I would absolutely do that. At least
Come to
one
Ottawa.
time.
I guess we're having CoreCon
yeah, let's do CoreCon.
as well.
You want to do it in
wanna
Canada?
here?
You want to do Canadian
should do it
CoreCon?
in
Oh man,
Canada.
that'd
That
be
would
Yeah,
cool.
I don't have a place to put you up, and Ottawa's not an exciting city, but you'll probably
It's
find
just
something
at
fun
Bo's house.
Yeah, Bo's house.
CoreCon is just at Bo's house.
Yep, your mom will come around with
I
a.
live close to a football field, but those are expensive to rent.
yeah, you don't want
So
to
we're
do
just
that.
gonna
Ottawa
sneak
Red
on it
Blacks
till they ask
play
us
there.
to leave.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm so excited about all these things with wrestling. Which brings us back. I'm trying to bring us back, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Wrestling.
bring it back. Bring it
Wrestling's
back.
great. John, you're killing it. By the way, it's the Frog Pants Wrestling Organization, but if you take the F in Frog Pants, the R in wrestling, and the O and G in organization, it spells frog. So this is like the frog thing. I love everything you've thought about done with this. You even got consent from people, which is hilarious because absolutely this is a group that wouldn't give a shit, but John's still that guy that wants to do it right. I love it.
It just seems like people, if I'm going to try and do their likeness, I should ask.
I know.
I
That's what I'm
appreciate that
saying.
he asked me which alignment I was, because I was like, I'm definitely in the chaos. Like I'm not good or bad. I'm the mankind. Like I'm crazy.
Yeah, I would love that. Okay, well done. Let's move on to Bo. Bo, more War Tales. Yeah.
I've played so my save file since the game launch is now at over 70 hours
Oh my
played.
lord! Wow.
I've streamed almost every day this week, all of it exclusively War Tales.
Wow.
And I'm still, I believe there are 6 zones, and I believe I've 100%ed 3 of them. And I'm in Ludern, and look at that! You'll see a horde of zombies walking by in Ludern. Things get interesting.
So does it go more high magic, or is we still in the dirty?
Well, they're not really zombies; they're plague ridden. So if you catch a disease and don't treat it, you turn into basically a zombie.
Okay.
So yeah, I haven't actually met any high magic creatures or anything like that as yet.
Okay.
But this week I did some experiments. I captured a rat, and then I captured a second rat, and in their skill tree,
Whoa.
you can get them to breed.
Okay.
So at one point, I had 12 rats in my company, and they find cheese when you visit places. So I had like tons and tons of cheese in my inventory.
Yeah.
And it was great, except they're kind of useless in combat. Maybe if you level them up, you can work them out. But I find I wasn't using them, and I had like a company size of 40,
Yeah.
which is really big for this game. So I eventually slaughtered them all after a week of having them, and traded them out. I have 5 bears now.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Okay.
a good trade.
Bears have lots of hit points, and they're scary, and they kill enemies good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Valir's back, so your
Oh, good.
predecessor, he's a ranger, but he does a lot of damage in his slick. So Valir's back on the team.
Back in the company.
Yeah.
If you want to
and-
be in your friends' video games longer, make a D&D character that has 2 names.
Yeah.
everybody.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So the game I'm enjoying. As you can tell, I've played it a ton. I'm enjoying it immensely. I've been doing experiments with it, and it's actually been a successful game in terms of the view time too. People have been part of the reason is a lot more people have been tuning in to watch this than other games for me. So I've enjoyed doing that. Enjoyed turning on the stream, but I'm very tired. I stay up too late every night playing the game.
Really.
Been playing a lot of it. What else? I don't really have like much to say unless someone has questions. Like obviously I'm using cadavers now to mount heads on spikes and scare people off.
Wow.
Like you do.
That's
Like
a
you
thing.
do.
Eh?
Yeah.
And is that
Yeah.
that's someone from your group that pissed you off, and you're like, "F you, Bill." You're
Yeah,
getting-
well, it's just corpses, because every time you finish a battle, you can take the corpses of your enemies and eat them, or use them to make leather,
Oh,
clothes,
yeah.
or just put them on a pike. My camp is full. I have tons of units in the camp,
Yeah.
and facilities. I can cook all kinds of food. The game's fun, but I would recommend, now that I've played it, I'm like, it's a campaign. It's not a 2 hours. Let's play and finish this thing. If you want to see it through, there's a lot of content. And like I said, I'm only halfway through, and I still haven't done Gothenburg, Alazar, and I'm in the middle of Ludern, which is the swamp zombie land.
Yeah.
And
Oh, look at this. You're fighting pigs and all kinds of shit in here. Wow. Oh, wow. These battles. Holy crap. Tons of dudes.
yeah, the battles get like super crunchy, and some of them are really tough and challenging. I've almost like lost units a lot. But mostly I've spent time earning money running trade goods between the places I've explored.
Yeah.
I also have a battle pony, so I can fight with.
You fight with your battle pony?
Yeah, so most of the ponies carry things, but I have one pony that has armor, horse armor, and goes and fights. I finally found the loot, so I can now play rock band in the bar and earn money. That's awesome. I was looking for it. After 70 hours, I finally figured out where the loot was.
Wow.
Which is, there's these towns you can go into, and you only need the rogues.
Yeah.
Because it's Walking Dead. If you're loud, you'll attract zombies. So you got to just take your rogues and go into town and try not to attract the zombies.
Yeah.
And if your lock picking breaks, you make noise. It like makes a whole new mini game out of the mechanics in these areas. So as the game goes on further and further, there's just always little novelties with all the mechanics that they have. Yeah, it's fun. I'm having a great time.
Are you feeling Game of the Year vibes with this thing for you?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's like my Game of the Year for sure. I mean, I'll probably be playing a lot of Diablo once it comes out.
Yeah.
But I can't, Everspace has taken a back seat. I'm really invested in seeing this game through to completion now that I've played so much. But the battles, because I have 20 to 30 units, one round will take like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you have to have that many units, but I want to be the Roger Ailes of warbands and just have a huge bureaucracy underneath me that does whatever I tell it to.
Yeah. Chat room split. I did a poll while you were talking. We were at 50-50. Here, I'll end it now. Let's just end this poll.
Okay.
50% say that you have convinced them to get it. 50% say you have not convinced them to get it.
Yeah, well, I try not to convince everyone to get it because I know I would feel bad if you bought this and it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
I think if you're the kind of player this will appeal to, if this will appeal to you, you watch it and say like, "Yep, I need it." You don't need convincing.
You already know, yeah. Turn-based combat, freaking overworld stuff, lots of survival-y bits. Like, yeah, the way you've described it over the months, I think if people, they know already if they're going to get this or not.
Yeah.
No. Some in our chat are like, I don't know, it just looks boring, no offense. And we're like, well, yeah, it's not your kind of game. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can play Dink's Adventure Legend of Telda, and I'll play War Tales. It's fine. We all each have our own game.
Dink's Adventure. Amazing. All right, that means it's time for our break, everyone. We're going to take a break. When we come back from this break, we'll talk about some more news. We have Dear Martha's, of course. We have a call. We have email. We have text. We have all kinds of fun stuff. So don't go too far. We'll be back in about 5. Stay right where you're at, and we'll be right back. I'm going to split that, pause that. Okay.
Did you see the image I posted last, Scott?
No.
It's from the images above, but notice what's on the back of my...
Oh my Lord! I'm the bringer of that information for John in his life. Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hit unpause on this here, and we've returned. We've talked about Andre the Giant off air, so sorry everyone you missed that important conversation. But now it's time to move on into Dear Martha territory. Yeah, that's right. A chance for us to talk about an old-ass video game magazine as told through the eyes of S. Beckett 90 whatever. John does these. John, anything special? Are we all good?
Nope. You got the images?
I do. And I've got
ways in the document.
I've got all that we need, I think. So let's do it. Here comes your song.
My dearest Martha, this week's magazine is PC Gamer issue 19 from December of 1995. It was chosen 100% because of its cover. I mean, look at it. It's an alien from Star Control 3, I believe, although it is hard to tell considering the small novel written on the cover of this issue. Martha.
Yeah.
Martha. Actual human beings saw this image and said, that's what we need to put on the cover of our big holiday issue. This silly, smiley hand puppet in a red tube is the glimpse into the future of gaming upon which we shall hang our hats. How did this hobby ever get so big? Yours in this life and the next. Oh, okay, fine. We'll talk about the issue. Now, normally I am just full of jokes and poking fun of an era in gaming. But this week, Martha, I was transported back to the wonderful land of blissful nostalgia. I never really thought about just how important PC gaming was to me in the 90s, when most of my friends were focused solely on console games. But this tore that apart. I have such fondness for so many games in here. In just the reviews section alone, Command & Conquer, Dark Forces, Descent, Full Throttle, The Incredible Machine 2, MechWarrior 2, Primal Rage, System Shock, Warcraft Orcs and Humans, Wing Commander 3, plus the Microsoft Sidewinder 3D Pro, which was my flight stick of choice. It got so bad that I even cracked a smile when they showed this image of a dedicated gaming PC. Thank God they said so, because how would we know? This PC is white and there isn't a single LED light on it to be found. They talk about the Imagination or In Network, which is where all my early PC game playing was done, including shooting down lots of people in Red Baron. The magazine came with a CD that had America Online on it, because that's just what magazines did back then. Screenshots for so many games that actually still included the Windows 95 taskbar right in the screenshot. The point is, I want to joke, but I feel like I've instead sunk into a big beanbag chair of comfort and turned on Nickelodeon. So damn happy. I do, however, want to supply you with an ad for the week. Normally, I try and find something out of touch or that has aged poorly, and well, I did. I found something that aged so poorly I didn't include it. It was an ad from Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it was a fine ad for about 5 years and 10 months, and now it's not that great even in 2023. So, instead of that, here is literally the most boring advertisement in the history of all things print magazine. It's an ad for a golf game called Tea Time. Golf is not known to be the most riveting of sports, even at the best of times. But with this, even the name is boring. The fonts are boring. The screenshots are too dark to be seen. And the product description is full of the most basic and awful golf puns imaginable. And when I say the puns are bad, I don't just mean dad joke bad. I mean a dad joke from a dad whose favorite pastime is reading about World War II naval vessels and has a stamp collection bad. Anyway, Martha, this magazine was 335 pages. It was huge.
Whoa.
And I'm going to just bask in the warmth it brought back to my otherwise cold, dead heart.
Oh, wow.
Yours in time, S. Beckett 95.
Oh, man, what a sad tale. I'm half tempted to call this game tech company number that's on here for this to get information about Tea Time. The problem is it's letters, and I don't have a way to easily tell what those letters are.
Yeah, really? I would have never guessed you can't easily tell what numbers
10
translate
hams.
to for a phone. 10 hams.
Yeah, we got a 10 hams problem. Oh, you know what? I do have a way. Let's do it. We're doing it. This is happening. Okay, get ready.
See
Here
if
we
we
go.
can get Tea Time. It sounds amazing.
We got 800 game tech, which is G is 4, A is 2, M is 6, E is 3. E is 3. Tech, so TEK. So T is 8. E again 3, and then K is 5. Okay, I'm dialing it. Here it comes. It says it's connecting. It's calling. No. Okay, here we go. We're gonna find
This call may be recorded for quality assurance.
All right.
Oh,
We
shit.
have a special promotion today for select callers. If you are over 50, please press 1 now. If not, press 2.
I'm gonna press 2.
Thank you for your help with our survey.
That's it. That's all it is. Oh, boo.
Oh,
Boo.
man.
The Dark Army's going to be visiting your house tomorrow, Scott.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that now. Well, all right. I guess
Or it's the Fargo guys. Remember that season 3 when they looks it up on the internet and calls the number? And
yeah, I do remember that.
Chad
what's
is
that guy's
saying
name?
the stream has died.
I'm
But
gonna
you trying to call that number has killed the stream.
Yeah, it feels like it actually was responsible. I'm going to end it and restart it, but I see you guys fine, and my connection's good, so let me just do that. Man, that was great. We were going the whole show with 0 frames dropped. Now suddenly some shit's up. Okay, it's
'Cause
stopping.
You tried to. It's because of the survey, man.
Yeah, probably not wrong. The nice thing about YouTube is if you get interrupted and you have to reconnect, it keeps it where you left it, and then as soon as you connect to it again, it just goes more. So you don't have separate.
While you get us reconnected, listen to this amazing advertisement.
Give it to me.
Your drive is a slice of life. Your short game is taking too long, and your long game has come up short. Your putting has all but puttered out.
Yeah.
And the grass seems greener on the other side of the sand trap.
Wow.
If all this is happening to your game, it's time. In fact, it's tea time to get back to basics with the fundamentals of golf.
Wow.
For that reason, we want you to approach your game with our game and an entirely new attitude. Lighten up and have fun. Tea Time brings a sense of realism to the game with championship golf course challenges that are second to none. Watch out for the tricky par 4 dogleg. Stay clear of the sand traps and water hazards on the back 9.
Yeah.
Definitely not a day at the beach. And when you hit in the rough on 17, your chances will be rough to make the hole in par.
Wow. I'm
That's
sold.
The advertisement for this video.
John, I'm sold. I want
It
what
makes
you're
me
selling.
Want to die.
Yeah, that makes me want to die as well. I don't like it.
I hate it so much.
It's
the
really bad.
worst.
It's really bad. But think about who they're selling to. Who was buying golf games in '95? Right? Who was the target? It wasn't us.
I don't know. It was. I played a lot of golf games.
Did you? I like golf
Because
video
my
games
dad
as well.
played them, and
Yeah.
I played them too.
I won't lie. A golf video game and I get along here and there. The 2K game's pretty good. And I can customize characters a lot like that wrestling game. Maybe that's what we do. We get all the 2K games with all the character customization. You make wrestlers. I make golfers. Bo makes weird avatars in VR chat. We're going to corner the market on stupid internet shit. I'm very excited
agree.
about it.
Scott, how's your internet holding up?
It
'Cause
still
the stream
seems
is
shitty.
laggy, and you're roboting.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So you guys sound great, which means my downloads are great. My upload has gone to shit. So let me see if I can solve this. I'm going to unpause
You
this.
call this a glitch?
It's very glitchy. All right, I think we're
You
back to
remember
full
that
speed.
from RoboCop?
I do. Was that Red who said that from that '70s show, or is that someone else?
No, he's the one that said, "Give me my effing
I love his character on there. I won't lie.
That's so good.
He's so
it
good.
really changed that '70s show for me when I watched it. I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, it's the bad guy from RoboCop. How can this be? He's great though. All right, let's move on to some other news of note. Let's see, make sure I got all my shit in order here. Is that recording? It is. That's working. Yes. Okay, great. Sorry, we had a weird internet trouble. It seems to be back now. Okay, this. That's not the right one. That's the wrong one. There it is right there. This is other news of note. While this has kind of been a quiet week, this is still the period of quietness. This has always been true almost every year around this time. So the fact that we're getting this Jedi Survivor thing is a kind of a big deal. Twisted Metal, the TV show, got its first teaser trailer with Anthony Mackie at the wheel. Seems to be your main dude. You know him from MCU work such as The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and soon to be Captain America Falcon, or Falcon America, or whatever they call him. I don't know what it is in the comics. John would know, probably.
I think they just call him Captain America.
Okay, and that's fine. He's got the shield. He can fly now. He's a little colorful. Whatever.
He can fly now.
So the teaser for that show, which will be airing on Peacock or Paramount. Hold on, I can't remember the service. There's so many now. Peacock. There it is. The description here says, based on the post-apocalyptic demolition derby-style combat video game franchise Twisted Metal, Peacock is bringing vehicular mayhem to a brand new TV adaptation. The TV series stars Anthony Mackie, Will Arnett, you know him from such hits as the Lego Batman movie and other things. Stephanie,
I thought you were gonna do the Lego Masters reality TV show.
Just give
He's
him
really good on that. Show's actually very good.
Yeah, turns out is an excellent voice for that, like straight or comedy. It's very good. Anyway, Stephanie Beatrice from
she's great.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Thomas Hayden Church, he was from the
Also
Spider-Man
great.
3. Although this
It's a
is
great cast so far.
Yeah, it's not bad.
He's from Wings. I remember Wings.
Yeah, Wings was great. And then he was in that show where we got to see that guy's junk on the car window. What was the name of that? Sideways. He was in that as well.
Sideways was a fantastic.
Oh, and he was great in Tombstone. People forget he was in Tombstone. He was a bad guy in Tombstone. Very good.
I forgot.
Anyway, AEW wrestler Samoa Joe also here.
Samoa Joe's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's Sweet Tooth, by the way.
Oh, is he?
The diabolical clown man in the game. Anyway, it doesn't give a lot of footage, but it shuts up a bunch of visuals and gives fans a reminder of what's maybe in store. A lot of 90s nostalgia going on here. A little bit of maybe Power Rangers kind of vibe is what I got out of it.
Yeah, it's got a Got Milk bumper sticker. You got your CD portfolio with all your musical CDs in there, and your mix CDs, tapes, whatever you want to call it.
It's pretty crazy, though.
It looks, who knows? It's a good cast. It's a good concept. We'll see how it all comes.
I'm actually excited about it. The show will be helmed by Deadpool and Zombieland writers Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, and written by Michael Jonathan Smith, who did Netflix's Cobra Kai series. Probably a good pick there. All 10 episodes.
I like Cobra Kai an awful lot, too.
Yep. That's right. All 10 drop on July 27th, so you get everything at once here. That's unusual for Peacock, but they're going to get it all. And I'm kind of curious.
Getting the full cock is what you're saying.
Getting the full cock. Yeah, no, it's not free cock. It's not preem cock or whatever. It's full cock. Get ready to receive the full cock. Yep. That's not nasty to say because we're talking about Peacock, right?
Yeah. I get in a lot of trouble around the house whenever I Peacock because I say it's on the cock.
It's like I like to do it to say, why are there commercials? I thought, is this free cock? And Kim's like, Scott, stop. I do it all the time.
Paycock.
Yeah, it's a paycock. I like paycock because it's like John or Bo. That's a better one. Peacock, paycock. It's paycock. Yeah. Don't pay for
pay for it.
Yeah, you gotta pay for your cock.
Yeah.
Vampire Survivors is getting a TV series. John, how stoked are you about your favorite freaking?
You know what? I liked Castlevania. It was a very good show on Netflix. I look forward to what I'm going to assume is a slightly different but same show. Again, it's going to be amazing.
Well, Bo, before
I just hope the meeting wasn't like, so we like your game. We want to make a show, but we're concerned, about the lore. And he's like, well, it only took me a weekend to make. And they're like, oh, great. Well, then it should only take us a weekend to make the show.
I see what you did there. Well, let me throw this at Bo.
I think is the best Survivors-like game. It deserves a show, and I'm excited to see it.
Okay, so look who's involved.
What?
Look who's involved, Bo, because this may change your thing. First of all, it's animated. All right, they're doing it's not live action.
Okay, still in.
Second of all, I'm actually preferably in if it's animated. I like that better.
Yeah, that's probably better for this type of thing.
This is it's just being done through the media company founded by John Wick and Sonic the Hedgehog executives coming together. Those movies did well for Sonic, and John Wick is badass.
Okay, yeah.
They're teaming up with Vampire Survivors creator Luca Gagliante to make the animated series based on the game. No names, no voices, nothing like that yet. They can do that in a weekend, apparently. But
this show's even easier than the game, really.
Yeah, really, just poop it out in a weekend and you're done.
To be like God, take Sunday off, just work on Saturday.
Yeah, why not? Anyway, that could be cool. Think about all the mass killing you're doing, and you do that John Wick style. Kind of makes sense a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a stretch.
I have no idea what this would be. I can't gauge actual excitement because I have no idea what it would be. Once I see something, I'll let you know for real.
Yeah.
See, the thing about Vampire Survivors, and the reason why I understand that John likes original Coke, Vampire Survivors, is because it does this thing where it fills the screen full of projectiles. If the John Wick version of this, he would have 500 guns shooting 5,000 bullets and 5 million enemies coming out. Like, you know, otherwise, what's the connective tissue? Like that they ripping off every like castle like vampire trope, which is fine for the game that it is, but you know, story wise, like.
Did you ever see Battleship, the movie Battleship?
No, I did not see the movie Battleship.
Okay. So Battleship is not that bad. It's okay. I enjoyed it. It was a good time. But it's based on the board game Battleship, and they only really have 2 moments in that movie where the alien missiles coming at you look like the pegs from the game, the little plastic pegs you use to say for a G4.
There's alien missiles?
Yeah, there's aliens.
Yeah, they're fighting aliens.
Yeah. So that's my whole point.
Is there aliens in Battleship?
No. So that's my point. Is they make up a bunch of bullshit.
They're gonna be just. They could just not tie it into the movie. They're just like, why would you give Milton Bradley money? You can make a Battleship movie.
That's why I'm worried.
They thought giving Milton Bradley money and getting the Battleship name on it would make more money
something.
Than
People are like, oh shit, I played that game when I was a kid.
Yeah,
it's kind of a dope game because it looked like you had 2 little laptops to play. Like, it's a great product.
That's cool.
But,
yeah. And it was directed by Peter Berg, and he doesn't really make bad movies. Peter Berg's a great director and writer, so that movie's better than it should be. That's probably what I'll say about whatever this is. You know, it'll be like,
I don't doubt that the people who can, you know, it's possible to take something like that with a blank canvas essentially and make something good. Battleship's a blank canvas.
Yeah.
Vampire Survivor's a blank canvas. They could totally make something good, right? It's different when there's established lore. Then you're like, that's not how Azeroth looks like. You know, like, so I thought Warcraft was all right and people kind of shat on it quite a bit.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I shat on it a lot.
It has established lore, so it's different. Things are, you know, people are gonna have opinions. I think no one's gonna have an opinion. It might be a good movie too. It's fine. Make stuff. Great.
Make stuff and let's see.
I encourage it, but like, you know, I hear it and I'm like, okay. You know,
what I really want, I want Craig Mazin, who show ran for Last of Us, to do a Warcraft series treatment. Not because Warcraft's anything like Last of Us, but because I think that guy understands how literally you can just translate a good story and good characters to make a good show or a movie. And that's what Warcraft needed. Warcraft was so bunged up, and Blizzard needs to have final say. Lionsgate was like, no, you don't. We decide. We're the money in this. And that thing, I think that the reason that movie is so mid is because of all of that, and could have been so much more. So put somebody in charge of this shit. Now that we've had Last of Us success, we've done good with your Sonic movies. This Mario movie's almost $1 billion movie right now. It's like it's going to cross that this weekend, which puts it in very rare company. Like it's time for videos on a cultural level, or video games on a cultural level, to make the transition, to make good movie adaptations. We know what to do, so give Warcraft another shot. That's all I'm
like top three movies or TV shows, video game adaptations that have yet to be made.
Yet to be made. Halo.
Yet to be made and need to be made.
Halo, because
Halo has
they
one.
made
I know.
Halo.
No. I know that. I'm saying.
But you mean finally make Halo?
I liked Halo the show, okay, but it's nothing really like Halo the games in terms of story. Yeah. Okay. And I still think it's good. But
more shots at Microsoft. See, Microsoft messing up their key franchise.
That's right. I think
it's good, but it wasn't John good.
I would go. I think God of War is worthy of it. Hey, you like that, Sony people? God of War would be good. I think a Zelda adaptation without. I don't want dialogue though. I can't have Link talking. We can't do that.
Yeah, I always thought a Metroid.
Excuse me, Scott.
I thought a Metroid silent film would be perfect.
Oh yeah, dude! Just a space horror game,
like no dialogue.
Metroid could
Samus
be
lands somewhere.
cool.
It's sounds and weird music, and
I'm with you.
Dialogue.
Totally with you on that.
If there is dialogue, it's a piece of machinery. It's not Samus. It's not the Metroids.
Yeah,
it's like one of those weird birdie guys, maybe, that says a few lines.
And in some ways,
I would watch a Hades TV.
Yeah, Hades would be real. Oh, animated Hades, dude.
Especially if they kept that style.
Yeah. I'd be all into that. That's a great one. Last of Us is a cheat, though. I'll say this to the end of my days. It's already a show. The game is a show with some gameplay in it. Like it's the focus
but I think
is so
the
narrative.
Show proved that it could be a different, better show.
I agree. And that's where the nuance from the right showrunners, writers, directors, and stuff come in. So absolutely, that's true. You don't just do a direct translation, but that thing had an advantage in that regard. And I think there are other things like it that would translate just as easily. The real challenge is taking something like Metroid, something like Zelda, something like whatever I can't think of, these more obscure stuff, or Half-Life. Yeah. Do we even want a Gordon Freeman that says words out loud? I don't. That's too weird.
I think a Half-Life show, I mean, it would kind of fall in the same camp as like Halo, because I feel like you don't do a good Half-Life show with Gordon Freeman in it.
Yeah.
You do a show in the Half-Life universe, but then people are like, "Where's Gordon Freeman?"
Yeah, that's the problem, right? You can't win.
I feel the same exact way about Mass Effect. We've had this conversation before, but I think I think a Mass Effect universe show or movie would be amazing.
Yeah.
But I do not think it should be about Commander Shepard.
Yeah, fair point. I also think
you guys are missing the biggest one, though.
What's that?
StarCraft.
Oh yeah, dude.
StarCraft.
I don't disagree with you on that. And all the Warhammer shit.
And Warhammer.
Do StarCraft,
40K.
do Diablo, and then cinematic universe Heroes of the Storm, and finally make that cinematic real.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Listen, Amazon's got 2 big game series coming. Fallout, which I have high hopes for. Really good showrunners and stuff involved in that. I think Fallout could be good. And they are doing a Warhammer 40K thing. That's like announced, and I think Henry Cavill is like legit in it. Like he's some kind of space marine dude in it. I could be wrong, but he's perfect for it. He's built for it. Yeah. We may have some real special stuff coming. I hope they don't blow that. Both of those. I would love a good Fallout movie or show.
Yeah, I mean, I actually really enjoyed, I thought Witcher was all right. I just feel like something's not right there.
Yeah, and so did he. That's
him
why
to
he
exit
left.
that project is like,
Yeah. He left because he didn't like it. Was going more the direction of the books and way less the game, which he thought the game was better.
It was going away from what was written. Like,
oh yeah, that's right. It was going away from all of it, right? Like not game.
They were leaning into, well, the fans like this, so we're gonna lean into that. And he was like, no, that's not what's in the books. That's not.
The fans like you shirtless constantly. That's what they really want. And can you fight a monster and then be shirtless again, and then maybe fight the monster shirtless? And then later be shirtless. That was what they were asking him to do, and I don't think he was down. But 40K, go nuts, man. Horus Heresy if you want. Make up a new story. Don't give a shit. I'm in. Give me some orcs with a K, Give me some Tyranids. Give me those weird robot dudes. I forgot their names.
Oh, I almost forgot about Space Marine 2. That's coming sometime, isn't it?
Yeah, this year.
Like the absolute deluge of games this year is kind of intimidating.
I know. It's bad.
And Space Marine fitting into all this.
Dude, I'm so excited about Space Marine. Oh my gosh. I love that first game so much.
It's just sometime 2023. I don't think they've given a set date.
No, and I'm a little worried about delays, but hopefully.
Who was it? Tom Chilitz?
No, it's
or what's his name? Who's the guy we know from Blizzard?
Is it Tom Chilitz? Well, it's over at Relic again.
Tom Chilton?
Chilton.
Oh, Chilton, sorry.
Maybe it is him, but is he at Relic? Because Relic's the studio.
I don't know. I just know the name.
Huh.
I vaguely understood what name Bo was trying to say when he said Chilitz. So I don't actually know.
I'm pretty
but
sure the first name was Tom.
I know what he was going for.
Chilitz
I know who I'm thinking of, but I just...
Chillets are what they make chicken nuggets out of here in America. If you want chicken nuggets, it's full of chillets.
Chillets were the shitty gum that were in like
chiclets
shops that you could get.
Those are chiclets, yeah.
But anyways, give us an announce date, please.
Yeah, get on there. Oh my gosh,
let's go!
So excited about that. That is in my top 2 most anticipated games of the year. If they hit the year, I hope they do.
And I'm understanding this is multiplayer. We didn't play Darktide. We have to play this together.
Co-op.
Please,
hordes of whatever.
Co-op.
I bet it's Tyranids this time around.
I know John, you should join us. I know it's not your cup.
It's not your cup of tea. Yeah. Tea. Sorry, tea.
You should join us.
I didn't mean pee. I meant tea.
And Kyle.
I
want to play. Yeah, I want to play this game.
Me too. I'm excited.
Which game? Which game is
Space Marine 2.
I lost the thread on Chillets.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
What was it? Tom Chitlin?
I mean,
Chitin?
Space Marine is much more my thing than Darktide. Like, Space Marine is what I wish Dark Tide was. I like the Space Marines. I
Yeah,
like that
it's,
stuff.
Tom Chill. Well, there's a race car driver.
You put
Tom
me in
Chilton.
the Warhammer universe, and you're like, well, you're kind of a normal shitty person, and I'm like, well, you've kind of lost everything I care about the Warhammer.
Yeah.
No, it's not Tom Chilton. Who am I thinking of then?
Who is it then? Ex-Blizzard guy, though? Working on it?
Yeah, you know him. Or you,
Did I interview him? Probably did. I did a few. It's not Greg Street starting his own studio.
Greg Willits?
Not Greg Willits.
Oh my gosh.
Michael Chiklis? The,
Yep.
the commish? Is that who it is?
Oh my God.
What?
Joey Chitwood.
Chitwood. Is that a real name?
Oh my. This is going to bother me now.
I think Bo needs to just quietly look this up because we are so far in the weeds.
Yeah, we're in the weeds. Look that up
Talking
while I
about
get into these texts
Trying
and
to
things.
silence me, John.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Before we do that, I got to tell Bo the good news. Unicron is coming to the new Transformers: Rise of the Beast movie that's coming out.
Yeah, I saw that. It's such a little tease. So
I don't even know who it is. Like actor is. I can't tell, but I'm excited.
okay, I found the guy. Here
Who
it
is
is.
It's Unicron.
I caught him in 4K.
This is Tom Willits, McGillis,
Tim Willits.
Oh, Tim Willits. Oh, he is ex-Blizzard. 100% he's ex-Blizzard. Yep, I forget what he did though. I think Warcraft. I never interviewed this dude, but you're right. He is ex-Blizzard. Here, chat. You can see.
Yeah.
You can see this beautiful man. Put it up here.
Tim Willits, that guy.
Yeah, this guy right
Yeah,
here.
Tom Chilton is someone else. That's the name. They both don't have hair. I'm sorry to have done that to both of them.
Yeah, two bald men.
And
One-
Rolo's in
one
it,
cup.
which is great.
Yeah, two bald
For
men.
all you
one cup.
Vikings viewers out there, Rolo the Viking.
Yeah,
in this
Rolo.
game is the lead guy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Anyways, yeah, sorry to interrupt, but
No, that's
figured-
exciting.
mystery?
That's exciting news. I'm very excited about that game. Get that out. Okay, and then the Unicron news. What else? Let's move on to.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
one
yeah.
thing about Unicron.
Yeah, go.
And it's too late. The movie's getting made. But the thing I hate about the movies is a lot of the enemies are just some crazy shades of gray, while the good guys have colors. But
Yeah.
the bad guys should have lots of crazy colors too. So I hope we get purple, yellow, and gray Unicron,
Well-
proper Unicron, and not just a massive gray. Unicron.
In the trailer, he had color. He looked pretty good.
I just saw the planet thing. Did they show him untransformed?
They showed his giant face talking, and then some little tiny transformer looking at him.
Yeah, because this is Unicron.
He's
right?
Galactus in that
I'm showing
universe,
you a
right?
picture. He's
He's like Planet Eater, monstrous. Oh yeah,
he
look
has
at that.
colors.
That's
He's a
badass.
colorful dude.
Look at him, dude. Look at that guy. Who played him in the?
And-
Was this the Leonard Nimoy character?
Orson Welles
Orson
played him.
Welles, that's
No,
right.
Leonard Nimoy was
He was something.
Leonard.
Remember that? In the mo-
He
in-
was not Alpha Trion.
No, it's Alpha. Buy it and wear it at home.
He was Sent. No, he's.
Stupid.
Well, he was in one of the movies as well. He did Galvatron in the live action.
In the 07 one.
Yeah,
Must have been, yeah. Died after that.
but he was Galvatron in the original one. Yeah, because he goes from Frank Welker as Megatron to Leonard Nimoy as Galvatron. Because one of his first lines is "Coronation Starscream, more like bad comedy."
Oh man, make me
Yeah.
want to watch that
And he
again.
transforms into a gun and kills him.
They're also making a new animated prequel film that deals with a bunch of stuff way before any of this stuff went down. It seems interesting. I'm all for
Yeah, I
more.
thought that was Transformers 1. I was like into that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be like young Megatron. They often do that storyline in comics and stuff where, they show Megatron and
All right.
Optimus before there were factions
Mm-hmm.
being, working together,
Yeah, I'm down.
being brothers.
I'm down for it. I'm down until it's bad, Like I don't have any. Michael Bay is only in a producer role on this next film anyway. He was on Bumblebee. Bumblebee was great.
Yeah,
This could be great.
Someday, someday him and J.J. Abrams won't be involved in movies anymore.
Yeah,
I'm just sick of those two.
I call him Judge Abraham. That's what I call him. Don't ask me why. All right, moving on to some emails, texts, and stuff like that.
That's a good question.
We got a call here to start with. This is a call about a big sale going on the site, and then it leads to a question I have for Bo. He hasn't been warned about this. So anyway, here's
shit.
the point, and then we'll get to it.
Hey, core crew, this is your boy Dead Center.
Just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware that Steam is having a huge sale on all of Devolver Digital.
Okay, that's his call. You know what? I noticed this. I was digging around Steam, looking at what my friends were doing, and I saw, this is how I knew about the sale, actually. I see Bo's account, and it says, your friend just purchased Genital Jousting.
I wish it would not say that. It's not entirely accurate.
Yeah. Well, it's like 69 cents or 61 cents or something. 69
I don't know, because I didn't buy it. I was about to ask you during the show.
Yeah.
Because it says Frog Pants added Genital Jousting to their library.
I did. I grabbed it because it was 60 something cents and it's normally 20
It's
bucks.
only 60 cents. Grab those genitals.
Yeah, grab
So
them.
you bought it.
Yeah, I did.
It's Canadian 89 cents, first of all.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I wouldn't
But
spend
I
89 cents
didn't
on genitals.
I didn't buy this game.
I thought it said you
It
picked
was
it up or
gifted to me by viewer Ziggurat. And,
of course it was. Okay.
Our Australian listener who sometimes does the streamies. You can find him on Twitch if you like.
He's a good dude.
He spent a whole ass 89 cents Canadian, or probably $50 Australian, because I know Steam pays a lot for games down there. So really very generous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
John, do you have Genital Jousting?
No.
His own homemade
So this is
analog
definitely
version.
a Scott game because it's Joust. First
Yeah.
of all,
It is Joust.
So you're going to be good at this one more than I am.
Yeah.
Should we play it?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, we should play it. That's what I was saying. I picked it up for two reasons today. One, it was 60 something cents, and that's dumb cheap. And it's supposed to be good. People like it. Like, it's a well thought of game. But then I saw that you had it, and I thought, well, that means we have no excuse but to do some sort of stream with us jousting genitally.
Okay, yeah. John, let's go. Spend your 89 cents.
Does it include lady
genitals?
genitals?
Is that a Devolver
Devolver, yeah.
game?
Yeah.
Maybe you have
I
adult
don't
games
see it.
turned
Why
off.
aren't they? No, I definitely do not. I used to write Steam reviews based on games.
Oh, yeah.
Porn games were my bread and butter. I don't know what to look at today. I'll look at a porn game.
Here, I'll give it to you. It's 99 cents or 99% off, which is why it's so cheap. It's normally $7. Here, we put it in our group. Okay, so it's in Discord, and I'll also put it in the chat.
Ho is on sale as well. That game's also very good.
Yeah,
Keith Ho?
Their whole catalog is.
Oh, Keith Ho. Okay.
But if you notice, it says genital jousting, but like everything in it's like hot dogs and bananas and sausages.
Well, I mean, they look like penis and balls. But the balls have a butthole, and you stick your penis in the butthole.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Scott. We know what's going on.
Nice try.
Is it really? Because all I've seen is this
You're
cover
like,
art.
it's innocent. It's just a bunch of hot dogs.
That's true, though. All I've seen is this intro or this. Oh yeah, you're right.
You haven't seen 8 different penises stick each other in a pretzel in 8 different buttholes trying to get one another out.
Hotline Miami 2.
There's that game's good.
I don't think you can stream this game. I think this game goes over the bounds of, like, it's video games, it's art, therefore it's permissible.
Can you not? You can't stream this, eh?
It's hearsay. I've just heard that. I haven't contacted Twitch yet.
Ask
tested
Twitch.
the waters.
Oh, you know what? I already own Genital Jousting. When did I
What?
get
Yeah,
this?
you do. Yeah, you do.
Somebody gifted. Check your mail. Someone's gifted it to you.
Did somebody gift it to me?
They must
Can
have.
I see when and where I got something in my purchases?
Yeah, go to Steam settings.
Oh, I know where I got this from.
Where?
I 100% know. I
Where'd
have a
you get it?
friend who I am sure bought this for me.
Oh.
I have a friend that I'm surprised has not bought
At
every
full
porn
price?
game ever. Yes, back in the day, I'm sure.
Wait, is it Ben?
No, it's my friend Blake.
Blake.
Oh, Blake.
I
you're at it.
guarantee you he bought it just to be funny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He doesn't play them himself. He just buys them for you.
See, the cover
Yeah,
showing
he
fruit.
wants it to be in my profile and he thinks it would be funny.
The cover shows a bunch
fair,
of
but-
fruit and vegetables. The game itself, though, if you go watch some video or screenshots, it's wieners. It's all wieners. No
Yeah,
vaginas
it's
though.
it's
Where's the
wieners.
vaginas?
Well, that's the most generous and nice looking of what that is.
But isn't it annoying that there's no lady parts in here? It's all dude genitals. That's lame.
Well, I mean, it's up to interpretation if the butt is a butt or if it's vagina.
Well, it's a little
It's genital jousting, not penis jousting. But it's like an ambiguous blob of it all. You've got a hole that you stick things in behind the balls.
That's a bum hole.
And then you've got it's a penis. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
got
Yeah.
Balls, but those balls are not like actual testicles. They could be ovaries.
I don't think so. I'm looking at it. Ooh, it's doing things I don't like. This game.
Yeah, this is very penisy.
All right, I want to play it though.
You just bought it, man.
Yeah, I did. Well, I mean, 60 cents. How can you not? I'm very curious about it, but I'm guessing you can't stream this.
I mean, the game has there's foreskin. Like definitely there's foreskin. There's blue liquid escaping from whatever's inside the foreskin. It's a urethra. It looks like you can put a cell phone in your butt or vagina.
I do that now. Do I need this game to do more of that then? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Oh, and you can fall in love. One penis is bringing flowers to another one. And
Wow.
I think they're anthropomorphized because their clothes are kind of suggestive of man or lady. If it's like a tuxedo or a dress.
Sure.
Or a pearl necklace on one of them.
It's actually kind of a cool art style, but what they're doing is horrifying.
Yeah, they just went all like they spared no expense on this.
No.
Yeah, this must have been a gift. It's not showing up in my purchase history.
Is this the most dirty thing Devolver has? It must be. Because I don't see anything else in their catalog.
It's one of these weird things because it's abstract.
Yeah.
Like it's not attached to anything. It's like a worm on, with two little sacks.
Actually, you know what's impressive? This is... Oh, Bo, you may want to get one of these because it's VR. Okay, so this team who made that game is Free Lives. And I was like, I know that name. I went and clicked it. That's because they did their Broforce guys, which, Broforce is ridiculous and over the top. So that makes sense.
Great. It's a classic.
Yeah, I love Broforce. They're doing new stuff for that too. Anyway.
Oh, they do Gorn.
Yeah, Gorn. And it's $11.99. I don't know what it is in Canada, but that's on sale.
I might pick up Gorn. That's a good
Gorn's
deal.
supposed to be insanely good. It's got overwhelmingly positive reviews. And then Terra Nil, this recent thing they did, which is all about converting Earth back to its natural state.
Yeah, I saw Terra Nil. That looked awesome.
It looks really great.
But into it.
Do they have any ads that say, from the makers of Genital Jousting comes this, hippie game? I don't know. It's weird.
Terra Nil was interesting because it's like, instead of ruining the environment, it's like, here, restore the environment with your efforts. It's an interesting take.
And quick note, if you've never played Broforce, 2015's Broforce, it is now down to $2.99 on sale during this sale, and is one of my all-time favorite pixely side-scrollery deals. I love that game so much, and it's not the dumb sense of humor, although it works pretty well. It's something about the gameplay and the destructible environments. I love it. Love that game. Can't say enough about Broforce, and they've got new content coming, which is crazy. The next.
Is there a new Broforce content?
Yeah, it's called. Hold on, I lost it. But there's something they announced it at the thing, the Game Awards. Anyway,
I forgot about that.
Do you think this caller expected us to spend so much time talking about genitals?
No.
Yes.
No. Maybe.
Oh, Broforce Forever. It's an update coming in 2023.
Yeah.
Broforce.
Yeah, it's a free update for everyone who already owns it, and it's got tons of new content, new characters, new zones, new creative stuff to make your own levels, all that stuff. It's a great game. I love that game. I own it in like 4 places: Steam, Switch. I had it on the PSP.
Broforce is a good one.
Or not PSP, Vita.
100%.
Quick email from Will, who wrote in. By the way, that call came to us at 801-471-0462 or 801-10-HAMS. No, that doesn't work now.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to do it. You know what? Forget I brought it up. No. Forget I brought up the hams. Forget it. 801-471-0462. John's right. I should have stayed away from that sticky wicket.
Why?
The email address is talktothecore@gmail.com. And this email came in. Dear Scott, John, and mostly Bo. All right, Bo, you ready?
Mostly me. Why?
Yeah.
What am I going to call it?
I like to hit you with the hard questions when it's, 10:30 where you live? It's getting late.
Yeah.
You destroyed my weekend. I listened to Bo's solo episode, immediately bought War Tales, and proceeded to lose the rest of my Saturday and almost certainly Sunday. So thanks a lot, you bastard. You wonderful, wonderful bastard. Also, the episode was excellent, particularly when he started playing the game by accident part of the way through. I love new content, even if I'm sorry. I love this new content, even if my wallet and free time don't. Keep up your great work, Will. Well, he's a patron is the reason he mentioned that, and that's important to mention because Bo's bonus show And the next two, which would be John and I, we haven't decided order, have we? I think I'm doing the next one, and then John.
You said you were, but I can.
I think
Whatever.
we just have to pick an order, and I think so. I'll go, and then John. I'll be May, John will be June, and then back to Bo. But we'll do these once a month.
Experimenting with what it might be too. So feel
Right.
free to we're not going to be consistent with it yet.
No.
I did it on
I
War
may
Tales,
ask
but I
to
might not
cut
do a
in
game
line
next time.
Yeah.
because I'm going to the Final Fantasy Fan Fest in July.
Oh, are you really?
That would be so
Oh,
maybe
you
that
get
would
to
be
see
a
Kyle
good
and Garrett and stuff. They're going.
bonus
Wait,
content
you're
thing.
going to like the BlizzCon of Final Fantasy
Yeah.
Yes.
I might go. It's in
with
Vegas.
Kyle and Garrett.
Well, not
Yes,
with them.
They worked with my wife and behind my back bought
Oh.
a ticket for me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, why
It was
didn't you
a
bring this up
pleasant surprise.
sooner? Oh
This
my
is
god,
great.
that's huge.
That's great.
Yeah.
Is it in Japan?
No, it's in Vegas.
It's in Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right. But is like Yoshi P gonna be there?
Yeah, probably. I
assume
guess.
so.
I would assume so.
What? You're gonna be in the same building as Yoshi P?
Which it's convention space? Do you know where it's gonna be? Where
I
it's
don't know. I don't know any information because I assumed I wasn't going, and then all of a sudden I was told I was going. So
How long ago were you told this?
not long.
Like
a
today?
couple weeks. No, like a month or so
a
ago.
month ago.
You've been sitting on this for a month,
Man,
Yeah.
John.
and you're just telling Core now. Oh, what
Jeez.
have we all done to you, John?
Yeah.
I feel like I can't talk about Final Fantasy on here.
Why?
It's not a
Talk
safe
about your
space
awesome
for it.
trip, and yes, you
Okay.
can talk about Final.
I think you should
Fantasy.
talk about FF all the time. We got a whole new game coming out, man. There's a.
We do. They're going to talk a
Yeah.
lot about that because I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'll bet
We're
so.
talking-
PS5
yeah.
is going to get used for more than Fortnite.
Man, I'd go down there just to see you guys. Maybe I will. I have to go again in May though. So for me to go April, May, and June
What is
into
it? A
Vegas,
5-hour drive?
July.
Yeah, it's 5
July.
hours. Oh, July. I might
So
be
you
able to
can't-
make
you
July.
Get a
5-hour
month off
drives?
of Vegas.
I might be able to. It's 5 hours. It's not that big a deal.
Take a plane. Can't you just hop on a quick plane?
Well, I
It's
could do
not-
that, but
probably
it's-
not too expensive. Like,
It's
you
not,
know,
but
if
it
it's
takes
just you-
longer. It takes longer than driving because
Really?
all the waiting, getting 2 hours to the airport early, all the
I thought it was like
riffraff.
an Ottawa to Toronto deal because the plane ride is it's a 5-hour drive, Ottawa Toronto. It's 30 minutes in the plane. Yeah, you don't have to show up 2 hours early. I don't know what American Airlines are like. Ottawa's pretty quiet.
We have to do 2 hours early, not for busyness, but for all the security crap. We have to do.
Yeah, so you probably have more population down there. Your airport probably more
Yeah.
slammed than my airport.
And I probably
so.
spend more on gas than I should need to compared to a ticket. Well, I don't know. It depends on ticket prices. So, but anyway, I am definitely going to think about that. Just because even if I don't have fest tickets, I would love to just like go to lunch with the four of us or something.
Yeah, I just go hang out and eat bush burgers. while
Yeah,
they-
bush burgers.
And comment on cosplay.
Or no, what is it? Dirt dogs. Just
Dirt
to be like,
dogs.
I'm just
Yeah,
the
dirt
regular
dogs.
dirt dogs for a few days.
Bo, you should move to Vegas and start a burger place called Bush Burgers. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that
wanted to
would
call a
be
place
great.
called the. I wanted to make a whole restaurant that was like the dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
It was all dumpster food. Like you get a burger with a shoe print and it was stepped on by a shoe, but it was healthy and sanitary. Like, just food. Like it looked like
Like a healthy
blood
food.
soup. Like it just everything looked like it was. The artisanal side of it,
Yeah.
of the appearance, would be that it looks like trash from the trash.
That's
like,
fun.
from a dumpster in the like dumpster stew or like tampon stew or something like that. Like just really gross, disgusting names.
Yeah, that's
And
a nasty
but
one.
then you eat it, it's delicious.
Yeah.
And like rich people would like it because it'd be like a thing,
yeah.
trend setting.
You know how those rich people get. They would love that.
Well, they stole the jeans from people. They made it fashionable to wear jeans, which were just for the cowboys and the workers. They
Yeah.
they co-opt
Yeah.
the working class so they
God,
don't
you
appear.
need to stop what you're doing.
You just put shit in my. You were too quiet, and I looked over to the stream, and there was beef and corn. Although that could be a delicious burrito at the dumpster dive.
I don't know. That's what
Yeah.
it reminded me of. That's why I put it.
That's gonna be that's gonna be a Scott Johnson special. It's
Yep.
gonna be a burrito that looks like that.
It's like a big old turd. All
But it
right.
tastes delicious.
Well done. How about this text from this is from Walter. He says, "This is Walter in the from the core crew or for the core show." I can't talk. By the way, same number to call if you want to do a text or voicemail or whatever. It's 801-471.
10
No 10 hams.
10 hams.
Forget about 10 hams. 801-471-0462. All right. He says, what is your stance on CD key reseller sites? Websites like Fanatical, Kinguin. I don't know what that is. Kinguin. G2A. I've bought a game on there before. Before I buy any game on Steam, I always check multiple key register sites or reseller sites. I think there's some sketch out there on this stuff. There's a lot of them that
my
are very
understanding
sketchy.
is they're ripped off.
Yeah, in a lot of cases,
TLDR.
not all.
Yeah.
Fanatical, I believe, is maybe the most legit. Let me get in there real quick and make sure I'm thinking of the right site. Yeah, Fanatical is the most legit of these, and the reason I think / know that is there was a reason. Somebody reached out to me and said, by the way, Fanatical's like the real deal. They work with developers and they get these discounts, and they're not even that big. Like Redfall's discount is 16% is all. Dead Island is 10%.
No, it's not worth it to go to that site, but you go to
Right.
G2A for the deep cuts, the 50%
Yeah.
off retail.
That one's sketchy. That one is definitely sketchy.
It's not sketchy in the sense that I think if you buy there, it's reputable. Like you won't get your credit card information stolen or anything like that.
The downside, though,
kind of sketch. It's where they're getting the keys from.
Right.
You're pretty much robbing the developers of. They set the price for a certain reason, and yes, discounts are nice, but those are like unauthorized discounts from, like, I can't remember exactly how it works out, but a certain amount of, what is it? The keys are set aside for review purposes and marketing.
Yeah.
And that they're able to obtain them, and then they sell them with no money going back to the developer. That's why there's a discount.
Yeah, it sucks. That part sucks.
They are falling off a truck. I don't know why they can't crack down on sites like this. I think it's probably because they operate overseas.
Yeah.
And it's a code thing. So the only person they can punish is the customer. They don't want to punish the customer because that's, you don't look like a good guy either way, or you can't solve the problem because it's not like you're going to stop marketing either. So
right. The thing to remember is, I'll just share this one story. I had a listener once back in either the Instance Days or Final Score or something, but that did nothing but buy off of somewhat dubious sites, and they got wrapped up in some kind of big sting where they caught whoever was distributing these things. Anyway, he got his entire Steam account banned by doing that. Geez. So be careful, I guess, is what I would say about that.
Yeah, I guess my stance on it is, like, I've been in a situation where it's really hard to afford this hobby. I don't really think it's my place to tell people what to do.
Yeah.
But I think that if you have the means, you should support developers.
I agree.
As best you can. And
I agree.
I think
so, use that as a guideline to what you can do. I think it's best to support the developer.
I haven't done it regularly, but I bought I think a total of three or four things. I'll look at my account history off G2A. Yeah. But there was an era where big streamers, like I remember, I think Crip had G2A. Like it wasn't like it was advertised in some skeezy place. Like high profile content creators had G2A partnerships.
Yeah.
So anyone could be forgiven for not knowing. It's a storefront. They're offering a better deal. We believe in the consumer market, in competition. But it's still. Information has since come out, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't just pretend like I didn't read what I just read, and that's kind of where we're at.
Do what you got to do, but I think if you can support developers, you probably should.
Yeah. John, by the way, John got his WWE 2K23 off a dead hooker in Reno. But other than that,
it's weird that they just carry around Steam codes.
So I'm going to do a full accounting of my guilt here of what I've bought on G2A. Okay.
Okay.
Just to cleanse myself publicly. World of Warcraft Legion. Apparently, I bought CD Key on G2A.
Oh man, Legion.
Sorry, Chris.
Hey.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris.
Sorry, Blizzard. I bought a 60-day prepaid time card. This was Legion was.
What was the reason the next
2016.
two expansions were?
I also bought Legacy of the Void apparently on G2A. I don't remember this.
Oh, weird.
But the third installment.
Just remember, Bo's the reason Blizzard went downhill.
That's right.
I probably got it at a steep discount, although I don't think it tells me the price. I bought another 30-day battle card.
Yeah.
I bought Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
A Steam gift card for $50.
Yeah.
For some reason.
You probably got it for 10 or something.
Yeah.
I bought
Steam gift
I had to get a Microsoft
for less than it is.
So here's one I don't feel bad about. I had to get a Microsoft Windows 10 key when I bought my new PC that I have.
Totally fine.
Because I'm like, I could pay whatever hundreds of dollars or like $5 for a Windows key, and I would I don't care I don't care if it's stolen. Crusader Kings 3. I also bought, because I bought all the X packs. It was actually pretty expensive, and I got a steep discount. And I was like, I still haven't really played Crusader Kings 3, so I don't feel that badly about it. Like, I've gone through the tutorial. I need to get back to it. That's about it.
All right.
I'm sure I bought something before that. Maybe it's in a different account that is a little different than this one. But I would say, I do feel a little bad about buying things on here.
Sure.
So.
But you're also, some of these you mentioned were at times
Actually,
where things were tight.
Legion, I paid $70 Canadian for it. I'm pretty sure Blizzard got that money. I hope I didn't get a discount on that.
Yeah, that's not a deal.
That was not discounted. But Legacy of the Void was a $30 purchase.
No.
And I'm pretty sure I bought that day and date. So,
Well, you got
$20 for Battlefront and
Yeah.
$33 for Royal Edition. That's like 2 X packs for $33. I got some good deals.
It's not bad. Yeah. By the way, Fanatical, who I was saying I think is the most legit, they are in England and seem to be very legit. They're not like offshore, like weird stuff. They seem to be normal, but their discounts aren't that great. So
it's a great place to buy Windows keys, everyone.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Thank you for the text. We appreciate that. 801-471-0462. Or again, that email address is talktothecore@gmail.com. Before we get out of here, a bunch of new patrons this week. I don't know where you people come from, but we love you so much because this show is thriving right now, and the more it grows, the more cool content we can make. We have ideas. We have cool ideas, and we want to bring them to you, but it really helps if we have your backing. We got new backing from Chris, from Rodney, or I'll give you his whole name because I don't think it's his last name. Rodney Chops. That's cool. Rob, John, Giggling Graven. Giggling Raven. Shit. Because it's all one word. I want to put word. It's like Penn Island. It says Penis Land.
Yeah, right.
I'm glad you explained that because you very clearly were about to see.
Yeah, it was obvious. Let's see. Damien, Benjamin, Frankenchimp. That's scary.
Oh. Frankenchimp.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine a chimp that's all like assembled from other bits of chimps and one big scary
that would
chimp?
be a great sequel to Cocaine Bear.
I'm afraid of chimps.
Same. You should watch that Chimp Empire on Netflix. It'll F you up. It's weird.
No, I don't want to. The movie Nope. I was like, I'll be fine for this movie, and then with how it started, I was like, I might not be okay for this movie.
Yeah, that thing, dude. Good lord! I just saw that for Film Sack. I did not expect that chimp stuff. Good lord! And it was CG. It was a CG chimp, and it didn't matter. Still, just like got all up in my cheese. I hated it. I like that movie though. What else? Damien, I mentioned him. Benjamin, Frankenchimp, Ginny, or Guinea, probably Ginny. Gabriel and Tyler. Man, what a great new bunch of people that come on in here and help us make the core into what it's truly meant to be.
You guys are incredible. It's the support that's been shown over the past little while has just been truly stunning and flattering.
Yep, next level, man.
Seriously,
I love it. And good news is we love making the show, so it's a perfect symbiotic relationship with you folks. If you want,
they really want me to do D&D, you guys, because I'm telling you, we get to a certain level, I'm not working the day job anymore.
You're going to be out.
Playing D&D. I'm playing D&D
in your head
for sure.
Yeah,
His bow's it.
He's playing it now. You just can't hear it. It's going on in his own brain. Anyway, no ads ever, no commercials of any kind. If you sign up, you also get pre-show content and post-show content every week. You get those monthly host shows I mentioned. We just unlocked that. Other cool stuff, including art in the mail and more. Go read about it at frogpants.com/core or straight to the Patreon, patreon.com/core show. And if you, once again, just mention my card game. If you're interested in Dungeon Murder, go to dungeonmurder.com. Kickstarter's up. Super easy to get in on that, and I would love to send you a copy of my game. I'm very proud of it. Worked really hard on it. It's years of fruition coming together finally, and I'm super stoked. So go check that out as well. I think that's going to do it for us. We can't do this, though, or we can't leave until we have Grandma tell us what games we played so that you people don't complain we never mention it again. So, Grandma, microphone, go.
I can understand why you might have forgotten which video games the boys were playing with all the offshoot conversations they was having about food and bush burgers and garbage and, all the other things they got up to. So Scott played V Rising. If you're thinking, well, they talked about that before. They did, back when I was young. He's playing it again. And he also played Monster Train on a mobile device.
Yep.
And he played Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yep.
That's the new one. John played Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That's the old one. He also played WWE 2K23, sorta. He mostly just made people, but not me, even though everybody said he should. Bo has been playing War Tales non-stop. So just assume War Tales this week, last week, maybe next week. It's all War Tales.
Maybe all weeks, you know, in the end.
All the weeks.
Until Diablo comes, I have a feeling it will be his mainstay. That's going to do it. And really, truly become a patron, because we did a lot of weird shit top of the show this morning, or this evening. And you really need to see
This
it.
morning, that's how long ago we started.
Yeah, it feels like
It's an all-day show now.
Nice long one today. We made up for last week when everyone said, oh, you guys were like a half hour shorter than usual. Well, we made up for it. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for watching. Come watch us live on YouTube each and every Thursday. We're streaming from there right now, and you can find that very easily at youtube.com/Scott Johnson. It's also linked on the page. Or just go to frogpants.tv. It will go there. And you can watch this and many other shows on the Frog Pants Network. That's it for us. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time.
If you like what you just heard, there's a very good chance you will like all the shows on the Frog Pants Network. Get more at frogpants.com.
Is the district secure? Yes, Senator. It better be.
Oh, the senator in that new game is a poo-poo.